Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Cinemateq live stream on a lovely Tuesday evening. It's actually not that lovely in Toronto. It's quite dour, actually, quite grim. A little goth, though, and we don't mind that. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday night. We are here for a very special reason. It is time to reveal the Cinemateq Top 100 Films of All Time for this year, the year 2024. This is a list of the best films ever voted on by you, the community, and it is perhaps the best film list in existence. Why? Because we have the best community in the whole gosh damn world right here. So of course, your opinions are going to be the best opinions. So, before we get into all of this, of course, I need to say hello to all of you. Hello in the chat. I will remind you to please like this live stream right off the bat. I'm feeling good because I drank a lot of caffeine before coming on, so this should be fun. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. All right, we got Mex here and Tim and Snoopy and Nicholas. Awesome. Let's hope it can top last year's list. That was awesome, man. This is going to be an interesting list. I am curious to see what everyone thinks about it. I have my popcorn ready. Hell yeah. Thank you, Snoopy. Hello, all. Been a while since I joined. Timmy, good to see you. Good to have you back. Youngest Broad, don't remember you from before, but thanks for showing up. So excited right now. I know. I can feel it. It's palpable. Good evening, everyone, says Jarb Carb. Seb saying a Cinemateq live stream on a Tuesday night, bringing back memories of the good old days. That's true. This is going to be fun, just like we did before, although with less insults and so. TJ is my sleep paralysis demon. I don't think I've ever received praise that high before. Thank you so much. B-Scope's here saying, let's go. Dory's here. What's up, Dory? One of the OGs. Night question mark? I don't know, Moonfall fan, what that means, but yes, it is night time where I am. Let's fucking go, says Jarp Carp. Hell yes. Reveal. It's happening, Happy Pizza Guy. Oh yeah, man, I could go for some pizza. Hi, TJ. Oh my god, it's been a while. Layla, how you doing? Good to have you back. Hey, TJ, it's been a minute. How was Tiff? Where is the Fur Critic? The Fur Critic is licking himself. He's licking himself right this very second. And Tiff was good. Not as good as last year. Not the best Tiff in my entire life, but a good Tiff. I saw a couple of really excellent films there, which maybe I'll talk about after the Cinemateq Top 100. Hey, says Cap D. Great to have you here. Dads? Hello, dude. How's it going? Been a while. I'm watching Dee Dee right now. Really good so far. Right on. I hope Jurassic Park 3 made the list. Maybe. RDR saying what's up, and Ryan saying found the channel after you'd already stopped doing the roast. First time here live. Ryan, welcome. Great to have you here. We will not be roasting tonight. We will instead be lifting up as many films as we possibly can. At least 100. At least 100. Maybe more. Let's see. We've got iHeart Movies here. Did you think I would miss the stream? No, I did not. Waiting for Timu to shut up. Who's Timu? Am I Timu? I don't think I'm Timu. I don't think I have anything to do with a site where you can buy bootleg things that are not very good. Hi, TJ. What up, dude? Yo, I'm good. There's a couple of films here that you're really going to like, Brianna. I hope you're ready. I finally passed 1,000 films on Letterboxd. Congratulations, Layla. Lots of horror this year. You have to do one live stream at least once a month, please. Probably not. Probably not. But I will try to maybe put out a bit more content in the future. But once again, we can talk about that after we get into the reason why we're all here. So before we get into it, I will remind you once again, please like this live stream. I'm going to be very beggy today. Please just like the live stream. And I guess we just got to do what we are here to do. I'm still close to 2,000. Do it. All right. So, Cinemateq Top 100. Are you ready? Are you ready, people? Are you ready to find out what you voted for, what your fellow cinephiles voted for? Are you ready to understand the depths of your own depravity, and yet also how much you align with popular thought on what is and is not the best film of all time? It's a weird list. It's a weird list. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a weird one, but it's not so weird as to make me think that you have all gone mad. So let me just get some things out of the way. First of all, we got way more voters than we got last year. On the 2023 poll, we had like 150 people vote on that. This year, close to 230. That's basically up 50%. So this one has a lot more input going into it. A total of 866 individual films were voted for. That is so many. There are probably people here in this chat right now who have not seen 866 films. I have, because I rule, but you may not have, and that's fine. You're just starting out, you're a little baby cinephile. We do not discriminate here. And there has been some turnover, everybody. There are about 40 films debuting on this list that were not on last year's list. And since, we didn't have we don't have as many voters as, say, like the Sight and Sound Top 100, there are a lot of ties. There are so many ties, just like last year. But there are 17 fewer total films on this list. Last year, we had 137 on our top 100. A little ridiculous, I know. This year, it's down to 120, which means that with 40 debuting films, y'all killed some darlings. And I'm going to be interested to see if, as I'm going through these, you people in the chat, you can figure out what has been left off, what died, what was not brought back. So, how about we just do the goddamn thing? Let's start off. Let's find out. We have 27 films tied for 94th place. So in a kind of reverse alphabetical order, let's start off the Cinemateq Top 100 with Zodiac, a debuting film, the David Fincher crime classic, now in the Cinemateq Top 100. Next up, The Wolf of Wall Street, the Martin Scorsese film that made you ask yourself, maybe I should try cocaine. Next up, The Truman Show, another debut. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not with this, but in terms of debuts, most of them are in this first block of 40 or of 27 films. I think 20 of these are debuts. So you're going to be seeing lots of new films from the list in this block. Very important stuff, because these are the films that could easily move up next year. Next up, after The Truman Show, we have The Passion of Joan of Arc, one of the greatest goddamn films of all time, and the single greatest performance in the history of cinema by that woman. My God, I am so happy and glad that this is here after missing out on the list last year. Well done, everybody. Next up, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, also a debut. Are all three going to be in the Cinemateq Top 100? I guess we're just going to have to find out. Is it the next one? No, because that's The Exorcist. And it also has the dubious distinction of being the very first film to fall places in this list, falling from 77th last year to 94th this year. And so this is going to be how this is going to work in every single one of these slides. I'm going to let you know if it's a debut. If it says NA, it's a debut. If it's a red number where it says last year, that means it fell positions. If it's a green number, that means it has increased its spot. And there are a few that have increased their spot. I blame David Gordon Green. Yes, that is mostly his fault. Next up. Oh, and for the person who just said this is a massive drop, this is not a massive drop. There are bigger drops. Foreshadowing. Next up on the list, tied for 94th place, we have Star Wars, dropping from 14th place to 94. 80 places down. And yes, for those of you wondering, this is the largest drop on the whole list for a film that's still on the list. I would argue that there are bigger drops for films that did not make it back. You guys killed some darlings. Next up after Star Wars, it is Singing in the Rain, dropping from 39th place to 94th. Still a great musical, still one of the all-timers, but now at 94th place. Next up, We have Raiders of the Lost Ark dropping from 39th place to 94th. Once again, one of the all-timers, one of the great action-adventure films, but couldn't hang in the top 50. Here it is in 94th. Oh yes, oh really? You should be shocked. Next up is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, dropping from 39th place down to 94. And I'm sure it's becoming clear to you right now that there are a lot of new films in the top 50. A lot of stuff dropped. A lot of stuff dropped. Next up is Mir, the Tarkovsky film. Are we going to get multiple Tarkovsky films now in the list? Perhaps. There's a few other good ones. This is a debut. So welcome, Mir, to the list. Next up, it is Metropolis, the 1927 science fiction classic that took production design and said, oh yeah, all of these other films that came before me, you're real cute, but I'm going to do something more. And good goddamn, it did. Next on the list, we've got Man with a Movie Camera. And I want to underline this as much as I possibly can. This is one of the most important films ever made. When searching for an image to use for this slide, so many of those images are iconic. Images that were copied by Alfred Hitchcock and a bunch of other filmmakers. This is an important inclusion in the list. And yes, to the people saying that it is the third silent film on the list, you are correct. And I love to goddamn see it. Also, my cat is going a little bit crazy. I think he loves Man with the Movie Camera too. Rocco. He's complaining because he just got fed and now he feels like he didn't get fed enough. Aw, little fur critic. All right. Next up, after Man with a Movie Camera, we've got Magnolia. So all the PTA fans can rest easy. There is at least one PTA film in this list. And it is a debut. Best list had a glow up? Yeah. I think that I personally think this is a better list than last year. But I also think this list is not good in another way. But maybe we'll talk about that after we reveal more. After Magnolia, because we got a lot of films still to go through. After Magnolia, we have M, the Fritz Lang classic that taught us that people who hunt children to kill them are bad. Thank you, Fritz Lang, for teaching us that lesson. We wouldn't have known that otherwise. Okay, I'm going to have to go let the cat know that he's loved. What are you doing, cat? Rocco, come here. Come here. What? Do you want your spotlight? Oh, okay. Oh, look at this big kitty. American Men list. You're not going to be saying that in a little while. Trust me on that. One of my favorites of all time, M, That Whistle Dam. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, now that I'm holding on to a big black cat for no apparent reason, let's move on to the next film on the list. Le Samurai, tied for 94th, and it is a debut. Six Sigma male list. If we want to go with that, sure. Next up, we've got Lady Bird. What was that about a American Men list? Because here's Greta Gerwig telling you to shut your mouth. Tied for 94th. It is Lady Bird debuting at tied for 94th. Mwah. Next up, we've got In the Mood for Love, the Wong Kar-wai film. That is so very good, I don't think I've even seen it yet. But I'm going to fix that. Trust me. I'm thinking about ways to turn this list into content, and watching In the Mood for Love is definitely going to be one of those ways. So congratulations. Congratulations to... the cat's biting me. Congratulations to In the Mood for Love. All right, are you going to stay or are you going to go? All right, he's leaving, but hopefully he's going to stop meowing. You're like the biggest unpredictable factor of these live streams. You know that? Go lay down. No, stop trying to kill me. You're too small to kill me. Next up, after In the Mood for Love, we've got Get Out, the Jordan Peele debut that basically just rocked everyone's socks real hard. Next on the list. Ooh, we got a whoa for this one. You guys didn't expect Get Out? It's on the Sight and Sound Top 100. And technically, it's kind of lower here than it is on the Top 100, although not really, because I think it's 98th on the Top 100. The Sight and Sound Top 100. Anyways, next on the list, we've got Donnie Darko. And I don't think Rocco likes this movie because he's still meowing for some reason. But yes, it is Jake Gyllenhaal being all broody and having bangs, I guess. So there you go, Donnie Darko, tied for 94th, and it's a debut. Next up, we've got Dog Day Afternoon. I was personally so happy that this got into the list. This was one of those films that I started knowing about like very young for me, like in my late teenage years. Honestly, I think I found out about this film because it was referenced in Swordfish, that John Travolta, Hugh Jackman hacker movie, and I watched it from that. I got the DVD, watched it a bunch, and this was like one of the first films from the 70s that I really started getting into. Rocco, what are you doing? Come here, man. What's the matter? Don't you know this is one of the most important live streams of the year? Come on. Just come on, jump up here. You can just lay down. I'm sorry, everyone, but the cat is being a little ridiculous right now. Where? Oh, shush. I'm just going to put you on my lap. I'm not going to put you on my shoulder. There. How about that? Maybe he's like... Maybe he's crying out because I'm being kind of loud. And he's like, oh, I need to match your energy. Which you definitely don't, Rocco. You definitely don't. All right, let's see if we can calm him down. So, Dog Day Afternoon. Sidney Lumet. Hell yeah. Let's go on to the next movie. And it is Coraline. This one absolutely surprised me. Absolutely surprised me with its inclusion. But I guess there are enough people out there to say, hey man, we love this stop motion animation stuff. Next up, we've got Close Up, the Iranian film from 1990. Also really happy to see this included, even though I haven't seen it. I know this is considered to be one of the great films, and I think the best Iranian film of all time. So very happy to see it included in the list. Next up, we've got Chung King Express. That's right, there are two Wong Kar-wai films tied with one another. And that's okay. Is it even going to be the last Wong Kar-wai film on the list? I don't know. I mean, I do, but I don't know. Wink. Next up, oh, and by the way, this one dropped from 39th to 94th. A fairly large drop, which once again underlines there are a lot of new films in the top 50. Films that moved up, and a couple of debuts as well. Let's keep this one going with Baby Driver. Didn't expect to see this one here, but hey, you know what? A lot of people dig it. A lot of good editing in it. A lot of cool stuff going on. He's jumping over an Infinity, which is not a car you see very often in movies. Real interesting there. And the next one up, tied for 94th, is 1988's Akira, probably the most detailed animated film to ever exist. This is a debut, so welcome to Akira. And I was looking at the list from last year, and there were quite a bit of Pixar films, and yet we haven't seen a Pixar film yet, have we? That's interesting. Next up, tied for 94th place, and I believe this is the last film tied for 94th. We've got Air Doll. And I know what you're thinking right now because I thought the exact same thing. What the fuck is Air Doll? But I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that this is actually one of Hirokazu Korieda's earlier films from 2009. And so, you know what? I don't mind it being here, even though I don't know what it is. And I'm pretty sure I recognize that actress. She might have been... Oh, she's been in stuff that I've seen recently, but I can't remember exactly what it is. This list is shaping up to be way more diverse. Yeah. Especially in like the back 50, there's a lot of interesting inclusions, which I'm pretty happy about. This one included. Like, this is the point of the list, right? To let you know that there are films out there that you have no idea what they are, but they're worth your time because other people who are real good at knowing about films think that it's good. Because, of course, we're all very good at watching movies. We know this. To how many votes are this film's tied? So I think at this level, it's like 5 or 6 votes. It is pretty spread out. But it takes a lot to even get to this. As I said, there are 866 individual films that were voted for, and we're looking at the best 120. So you can imagine all of the other films, all of the, 646 films that got less than 5 votes. It's a lot. It takes a lot to build consensus. So here we go. This is what that looks like. So now, everybody, now we're moving on to the next phase. And Rocco just left my lap. Hopefully he is now suitably... You good? You gonna lie down? Okay, he's lying down. He's going for it. Oh, he's flopped. He's flopped on the floor. I think we're all right. I have already created a list on Letterboxd just for a watch list. Cool. Also, I'm going to remind everybody, and by remind I mean tell you for the first time, that there will be a Letterboxd list for this put out as soon as I'm done revealing everything. So you can check out how many of these films you've seen, and you could build your watch lists from there. So now we are going to move on to tied for 80th place, and we're going to be looking at 14 films. So I think these all got 6 votes, something like that. Starting off with Yi Yi, the Edward Yang film that was part of, I believe, the Taiwanese New Wave, a debut, and I am also really happy that this is here. Gotta love having that Taiwanese New Wave getting in here, showing itself off, and I hope it's one of those movements in film that more people check out because of films like this. You owe it to yourself to give it a try. Next up, after Yi Yi, we've got The Wizard of Oz, dropping from 59th place down to 80th. I guess there is no place like home? I probably should have workshopped that one a little more. Next up, after Wizard of Oz, we have Psycho, dropping from 59th to 80th. The Alfred Hitchcock classic, that film that I mentioned that references Man with the Movie Camera. You see, there's poetry in this list. It rhymes. Moving on from Psycho, we've got Prisoners, the Denis Villeneuve film, debuting at number 80. This was one that I was surprised wasn't on the list from last year, and now it seems you all have corrected that by including it. Next up, we've got Once Upon a Time in America, this one falling from 77th to 80th. Not far of a drop, and still glad to see Sergio Leone's big old epic American gangster film still represented in the top 100. It's a good one, and you should search it out, absolutely. Next up, we've got Mysterious Skin. Look me in the eyes and tell me you thought Greg Araki was going to be in this goddamn list. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You're a liar. But here he is, Araki in here, Mysterious Skin from 2004. This just got into the Criterion Collection, I believe, as part of like a 3-film set. So yeah, there you go. Anything is possible. You're right, Jarp Carp. Next up, we've got Kill Bill Volume 1. I feel like we were doing so good with like weird out of nowhere picks, and now we're just back to Tarantino films. But hey, it's Kill Bill Volume 1. It's got lots of blood. It does. It has lots of blood in it. Next up, we've got Harry Carey, which once again was a film that I was surprised was not in the list last year. It is the number 1 film on the Letterboxd Top 250. So the fact that it wasn't included last year was kind of surprising to me, but here it is, debuting at number 80. Another film that I actually need to check out. Next up, we've got Good Will Hunting. Hey, there's some good performances in this. Robin Williams is right there. Matt Damon is right there. I'm not going to say anything bad about this pick. Good job, everybody. Harry Carey? What did I say? Isn't that what it's called? Anyways, the next film is Dr. Strangelove. And I was surprised to see this at 80th. I thought this would be a lot higher, but then I realized it was actually in 97th place last year. So it's moved up. Stanley Kubrick is finally having his due. No one thought that Stanley Kubrick was a good director until right now. So good for you, everyone, for figuring this one out. The cat still be meowing. Rocco. All right. We are going to move on now to Daisies. Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes and tell me that you thought Daisies was going to be on this list. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you did not. But here it is. Here is Daisies from 1966. Another film that I haven't seen, but my God, look at this scene. Look at this wonderful food fight-esque scene that they're probably having. Look at the makeup they're wearing. Incredible. Incredible. Rocco? What are you doing? Well, now you're doing tiny meows. I don't know what's going on with you, man. The hilarious part about this is that he was like asleep before I started streaming. So I thought we were going to be fine. Rocco? Okay, we're going to keep going. Paul, you're late. How dare you? How dare you, Paul? It's all right. It's a great thing about live streams. They live on forever and ever and ever. Next up, after Daisies, we've got Cure, the Kiyoshi Kurosawa film. And when I saw this on here, I was like, ooh, I really hope Pulse gets in here too. And maybe it did. Who knows? But this film, as a debut, really happy that it's here. It's in the Criterion Collection. You could probably watch it on the Criterion channel. Go check it out if you haven't. Next up, we've got Blade Runner 2049 dropping from 39th place to 80th. And I'm not sure why this film dropped so much, but once again, just illustrating how many new films are in the top 50 and how you guys do not give a shit about keeping your darlings around. This is a list where people get killed. There's murders going on right now. And by people, I mean movies. Movies are getting murdered. It's Cinecide, baby. Should I rename the channel Cinecide? That's interesting. Next up after Blade Runner 2049 is All About Lily Chocho. Or Choo Choo? I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but another debut tied for 80th. And another film that I did not know about, but then I started looking into it a little bit, and it's one of these little known films that is actually very highly regarded in some cinephile circles. So here we go. Here it is. You guys voted for it, and now it exists in the list. So that was all of the films that are tied for 80th place. Now, we are going to get into the nicest place, 69th. There are 11 films tied for 69th place. And those films start with The Godfather Part 2. Yes, often considered one of the best films of all time. You guys just thought that it was good enough for 69th. Here it is, dropping from 31st. Another film dropping out of the top 250. It's a bloodbath. It's a bloodbath. Next up at 69th, we've got The Apartment, a debut. And let me tell you, every time you see a debut from this point on, that's a big deal. These are getting further and further up the list. Chat, tell me what you think the highest debut on this list is going to be. Give me like a range of 10. You think it's going to be in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 10s, the 1s, the aughts, the lows, or maybe just the 50s. Who can tell, really? So here we have The Apartment, absolute great film, and here it is, debuting. Wonderful stuff. Next up, Stalker, another Tarkovsky film. Do we have one more, perhaps? A Solaris, perhaps? Could be. You'll have to stick around to find out. But this one did drop from 31st to 69th. The bloodbath continues. Next up, we've got Poor Things, a 2023 film on this list. And I think maybe the only 2023 film on the list. So there you go. Poor Things, one of the best films of last year, tied for 69th. And if we're being honest, if any film should be in 69th place, it's Poor Things. Next up on the list, we have Perfect Blue, the Satoshi Kon anime film that you should never ever play at a bar. Speaking from personal experience on that one. This one dropping from 59th place to 69th, but good goddamn am I still glad that it's on the list. One of the very best anime films ever. Very Hitchcockian. Love it. Next up, we've got Once Upon a Time in the West, and this is one I am so happy is still here. And not only is it still here, it's jumping from 97th place to 69th. Love this movie. Love it a lot. Could there be other Sergio Leone films on this list? Maybe. But this, for me, is my favorite Leone film, and so I am so happy that it is here. Did I vote for this? I can't even remember if I voted for this year. I know I did last year, but I don't know if I did for this year. Moving on from 69th, we are going to find, we're still at 69th. But we're moving on to the next film, and it is Love Exposure, another new film to the list that I had to look up because I had no idea what it was. And it turns out it's another one of those films that's much beloved in certain cinephile circles. This one, I believe, is directed by like Sion Sono or something like that. It's a director I recognize, but it is a film that I do not know. And I think this one might be like 4 hours long and obviously contains a lot of blood. So that's a positive sign. I love blood. It's fun. So congratulations to Love Exposure. Coming up next, we have Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz, everybody, the second Edgar Wright film on the list. This one, however, is dropping down from 59th to 69th. So the Hot Fuzz love is minimizing. Next up, we have Her, moving up from 77th to 69th. A little jump, a wee jump, but a jump nonetheless. Congratulations, Her. Next up, we've got Forrest Gump, tumbling out of the top 50 from 39th down to 69th. My goodness, the bloodbath continues. Is the top 50 going to be all brand new films? No, but there could be a lot of new films. Next up, we've got Everything Everywhere All at Once. My God, it's the first top 10 film from last year to fall, and oh, did it fall to 69th. And I'll be very honest with you guys. I thought there was a real chance that this film wouldn't even make the list. Not because I think it's bad. I do really love this movie. I just thought that its 4th place finish last year was indicative of recency bias, and now we were going to see that correction. But hey, it's still here, it's still sticking around, and we're going to have to wait to see if it can do so again in 2025. But here you go, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And when you know it, that's it for the 69 Club. Congratulations to the 69 Club. If you voted for any of these movies, you're part of the 69 Club. I don't think I am. That's sad. Moving on, we are going to be looking at 15 films that are going to be tied for 54th place. First up, we've got The Social Network, a debut at 54th. My goodness, that's almost in the top 50. Whew. A big old jump. And a David Fincher film to boot. Have we seen a David Fincher film yet in the list? I can't remember, but here it is. Are there more? Who can say? Next up, we've got The Matrix, dropping from 39th place out of the top 50 into 54th. Oh, that's right, Zodiac. Zodiac is a Fincher film that's already in the list. But here we have The Matrix. So there you go. One of the most influential and important films of the 1990s in 54th place. Next up, we've got The Lighthouse, moving up from 77th to 54th. And honestly, I'm surprised this one stuck around. This just tells me that there's a bunch of goddamn weirdos in this audience, and I love that. Keep being weird, god damn it. That's what makes things interesting. Next up, we got Seven, another David Fincher film. I guess that's 3. 3 David Fincher films. Who could have foreseen this? One of the best American directors of the last 30 years, having several films, 40 years, being in the top 100. Unprecedented, I tell you. And it is moving up from 97th to 54th, a big old jump. Next up, we've got Scream. Scream is still here. Huzzah! This film, the Wes Craven meta classic, dropping from 31st to 54th. My God, do I love this movie. I should watch it in 4K or something. That sounds like a good idea for October. Ooh, that's just around the corner. Next up, we have Punch Drunk Love. That's right, everybody. We live in a world where Scream and Punch Drunk Love are tied with one another. I love this. This movie is moving up from 77th to 54th, so congratulations, PTA, again. Next up, we've got Monty Python and the Holy Grail, also moving up from 77th to 54th. Congratulations to... I was trying to think of a reference from the movie that I could use here, and now I'm stalling. A yellow-breasted warbler? No, that's not the bird. Anyways, the next film on the list is Mad Max Fury Road, debuting at 54th. Honestly surprised this one wasn't in the list last year, but here it is. One of the most dangerous films ever made, you could say. Definitely a lot of great stunts in this. Lots of interesting action set pieces. You guys must love it. And honestly, it is kind of a weird film. It is a bit of a weird film. We can't deny it. It's just a weird film that reached the masses. And that's probably why it's here. Next up at 54th, we have Lawrence of Arabia. One of the all-timers. Some that people will look to and say is perhaps the GOAT. Lush 70mm cinematography. Everything's going in the same direction. And then you got old Blue Eyes here, just chilling. Just chilling. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. So here we go. Lawrence of Arabia debuting at 54th. Is this the highest debut? I don't know. Next up, we have Inception. Christopher Nolan coming into the list, dropping from 39th to 54th. As I have been saying, the top 50 is a bloodbath. A bloodbath. So here we go. I think this is the first Nolan film in the whole list, and it is 54th. Next up, we have Fight Club. Yet another Fincher film. I think number 4 now? Good God. The 1999 film that definitely had nothing to do with toxic masculinity getting worse in the 2000s. Thanks, Fight Club. Thank you for your service. Next up, we've got Fargo, jumping up from 97th to 54th. The Coen brothers film, although I think actually only one of the Coen brothers directed it, that taught us all that snow looks cool, except when there's blood in it, because that makes it look super cool. Next up on the list, we have Fallen Angels, another Wong Kar-wai film. And this one, I think it's interesting that this one is higher up than In the Mood for Love and Chungking Express, because both of those films are considered to be his 2 best films, whereas Fallen Angels, while still a classic, is a lesser classic. So the fact that it is so much further up the list, so much further, like 50 places further or 40 places further, that says a lot. That says to me that you should watch this movie. I used to have this on DVD a long time ago, so that could tell you something. Next, also tied for 54th, we have Eyes Wide Shut. And I think we need to have a little bit of a talk, everybody. How dare you? How dare you do this to Nicole Kidman? How dare you insult the goddess of AMC by dropping her from 22nd to 54th? How dare you? I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. I'm just kidding. I totally understand it. You just don't like good movies and don't have as good a taste as I do. That's fine. That's what we're supposed to be learning from the list. The Cinephile Supreme is still in here somewhere, trying to get out. Next on the list, also tied for 54th, we have City of God, a debut at 54th and a well-deserving one. One of my favorite films when I was a teenager, one of the most beloved films of all time. Definitely the most well-known Brazilian film, at least in the Western world. And I'm not going to argue with it. I need to watch it again soon. An absolute banger. So happy that it is included here. And those are all of the films tied for 54th place. We come to Cinemateq to laugh, to cry, to care. Do we? I just come here to talk into a microphone because I don't talk much during the day. Also, I just try to turn you guys on to new movies. So if there is new content to come, maybe it'll be in that vein. City of God is a fantastic movie. Absolutely, Scottish geek guy. Hey, I think you're new in the chat. Thanks for showing up. And I know I'm not paying much attention to chat right now. I apologize, everyone. Please just keep going crazy. If you see a film that you voted for, let us know. And yeah, that's all I want. I want you guys to keep having good conversations with each other. And I will check in with you when this whole list is done. But now we're basically at the halfway point, because the next 6 films are tied for 48th place. We are in the top 50, everybody. Now we get to see what films replaced all of the ones that we have seen so far falling out, like so many acorns from a tree that is dying. Why did I go with that analogy? Anyways, the first of the films tied for 48th place is Vertigo. Yes, good enough to be top of the Sight and Sound Top 100 for a number of decades, but in this instance, in terms of what the Cinemateq community wants, 48th is the best we can do. It is dropping from 39th place. My goodness. You could almost call this part of the bloodbath, but it's still in the top 50. It's still in the top 50. Next up, we've got Spirited Away. Suck it, person in the chat who just said no Miyazaki films yet. You were just a little bit too soon. Yeah, this is the first Miyazaki film I ever saw, so happy that it's here. Is it going to be the last Miyazaki film? I don't know. I mean, once again, I do know. I've seen the list. But you gotta love that it's here, even though it did drop from 17th to 48th. It's a bit of a tumble. Next up, we've got Memories of Murder. Moving up from 97th to 48th. The Bong Joon-ho classic that is basically just South Korea's Seven, but also better than Seven. And we can prove that now empirically because it's higher up on the list than Seven. So awesome, so fun, so cool. Love this movie a lot. It was in my top 10 last year. It dropped out this year, but hey, love that it's here. Moving on, we've got Barry Lyndon. Yes, we've done it again. Cinemateq community. We have discovered another Stanley Kubrick film. Barry Lyndon moving up from 77th to 48th. My God, if I ever make merchandise for this channel, one of the things that they're going to say is we discovered Stanley Kubrick. I love stupid shit like that. All right, next up, we've got After Sun. The movie about depressed British people being in a beautiful place has dropped from 31st to 48th. So, God, it's a really good movie though, right? But once again, I think this is another example of recency bias wearing off. Will this film continue to stay? I don't know. There are some other more recent films that are maybe higher up on this list, so perhaps After Sun could stick around. It is a very beautiful film after all. But we got one more to look at for 49th place. Or 48th place, excuse me. So what is it? What could it be? Why, it's A Clockwork Orange. Whew, we are really into discovering Stanley Kubrick for everybody. Man, I hope other people who are not normally in this community are watching this so they too can find out about this small indie director named Stanley Kubrick. A Clockwork Orange, still in the top 50, even though it has dropped from 22nd place down to 48th. Congratulations to Stanley Kubrick. I hope you're still a filmmaker who is alive so you can enjoy all of the fame that we are about to bestow upon you. All right. We're going into 38th place next. 10 films. 10 films. 10 films are in 38th place. What are they? What are they? It's a very, very simple question for me to answer. The first answer is this. The Grand Budapest Hotel, coming in at 38th, rising in the ranks from 97th. So congratulations to the Grand Budapest Hotel, and I believe this is the first Wes Anderson film as well. Will it be the last? I don't know. As I said, there was a top 50 bloodbath, and the films had to be replaced by something. Maybe it's one of these next ones. I've lost the ability to do good transitions and segues. So the next goddamn film is The Graduate. The Graduate, a debut at 38th. My goodness, the 1967 film that asked the very poignant question, are you trying to seduce me? Yes, always. So here we go. Is this the highest debut, though? Chat, you got to tell me. You got to tell me what you think. Is this the highest debut? We're 38th. We're 38th. We're not going to get much higher than this and see a debut. Or maybe this is the highest. Let me know. If this was the last debut, would you be happy? There's a good question. It is not. We got a lot of people in chat saying, no, it isn't. Maybe you've caught on to how I hold your attention. Let's move on now to another film tied for 38th place. It's Terminator 2, Judgment Day. And honestly, out of all of the photos I found for this entire list, this is the best one. This is just clearly the best one. This is another debut coming in at 38th place. So congratulations to James Cameron. You finally accomplished something. Next up, another film tied for 38th place. Raging Bull, moving up from 59th to 38th. Martin Scorsese coming in hot, swinging his boxing gloves and letting other films in the top 50 from last year. No, I got a spot this time around. Oh, it's a good movie too. Look at this black and white cinematography. So sick. Anyways, next movie is No Country for Old Men, a movie that was in the top 50 last year and remains in the top 50 this year. In fact, improving its position by 1. Congratulations to the Coen brothers. Another great discovery by the Cinemateq community. God, we're so into undiscovered gems. This one was one of Dan Lowe's picks. Congrats. You're not part of the 69 club, but you are part of the 38 club. Next up, we've got La La Land. Oh no, La La Land dropped from 31st to 38th. I'm so sad. I'm very sad by this. I'm weeping. Look at me weeping. Very much weeping. All right, enough of my shenanigans. Congratulations to La La Land, and I hope if you voted for it, you are happy that it is here. Next up, we've got Inglourious Bastards. This is a Tarantino film moving up from 97 to 38th. A lot of people, including someone in this very scene, would say that this is Tarantino's masterpiece, and I agree. So very happy to have it here in the top 50 at 38th. Next one, we've got Fantastic Mr. Fox, another Wes Anderson film. And this one, again, moving up from 59th into the top 50. Very, very good for the Fantastic Mr. Fox. Could this be the highest animated film? What film could be higher than this and be animated? Tell me in the chat. Next up, we've got Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, debuting at 38th. Manic Pixie Dream Girl enjoyers rejoice. You have finally won at something. I'm joshing with you. This is a good pick. I saw this film for the very first time like a year ago or 2 years ago. And yeah, it's good. It's good. So congratulations. Congratulations to all of you who voted and to this movie in particular. Next up, we've got Casablanca, baby, the 1942 classic that reminded us that we will always have Paris, even when most of us will never go to Paris. This movie moving up from 39th to 38th. Love that. Love that. I love to see the classics slowly inching their way further up the list. God, that's awesome. But now we have to get into even more awesomer films. We are already in awesome territory, but we need to look at the grass on the other side of the fence, see that it is greener, and declare that it is ours. And I guess remove the fence, maybe get into a land dispute with our neighbor and say that the property lines were not drawn properly, and try to make that ours now. So there's 6 films that are tied for 32nd place. Let's see what they are, starting off with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And yes, you are reading that right. That is the first film on this list to drop out of the top 10, falling from 9th to 32nd. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the first casualty of the top 10. Is it the last casualty of the top 10? Could be. No, Everything Everywhere dropped out. Okay, if you're going to remember everything that I said and contradict me, then, like, you're a really good fan, actually. You're right, Everything Everywhere dropped out of the top 10. I'm just a dummy who is streaming. Honestly, streamer brain, you can't remember shit. To the streamers who do, like, political streams and, like, constantly remember, like, facts from books that they read, like, and articles that they read, like, many years ago, my hat goes off to you. I just forgot something I said 20 minutes ago. But yes, this is the second film to drop out of the top 10. But will it be the last? There is the question. And yes, we also do need to remember that according to the Cinemateq community, this film is better than 4 David Fincher films and 4 Stanley Kubrick films. This is the power that you hold when you vote. This is forever. Moving on to the next film tied for 32nd place, we have Paris, Texas, Wim Wenders' What Up? And this is just honestly one of my favorite film stills in this whole goddamn list. Look at this. Look at these fucking saturated colors, man. Look at that goddamn shirt. That is awesome. It's almost like they were like, how many shades of red can we put in this? And the director, Wim Wenders, was like, yes, all of them, please. I have an itchy nose. This one moved up from 77 to 32nd. So, a beneficiary of all of those other films dropping off. Next up at 32, we have La Haine, or The Hate, if you're nasty. This one dropping out of the top 25 to 32nd place. A little bit of a drop, a tiny bit of a drop, but still a drop. I have nothing else to say about this movie. Let's move on to the next one. Jaws. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. That's what all of the films in the top 50 heard when Jaws decided to get its bite on. Coming into this list at 32, moving up from 97th from last year. Spielberg ain't fucking around no more. Next on the list, we have Dune Part 2. Oh my goodness. A 2024 film on the 2024 list. Holy shnikes. I don't even know if that happened in the last list. Was there a 2023 film in the 2023 list? I can't remember. I probably should have checked. But here we go. A debut at number 32. Is this the highest debut of the list? Let me know in the chat. And I think I do know the answer to that question. So if you get it right, I will let you know. I'm pretty sure Everything Everywhere All at Once is a 2022 film. Isn't it? Isn't it? I can't remember, though. I don't remember anything anymore. Lasan El Gaib, indeed. I should have memorized the speech where he yelled at everyone and they decided that they should follow him into a bloody battle and die. So, oh, that's right. Across the Spider-Verse was in last year's list. And yet, curiously, we haven't seen it yet. What's up with that? Next up on the list at 32nd, we have Back to the Future, another film dropping out of the top 10. This one falling all the way from 8th to 32nd. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. All right, everyone. I'm going to take a little bit of a break here. We are about to get into the top 30 films, starting off with 6 films tied for 26th place. I need you to tell me in the chat right now what films you are most excited to see in this top 30. I need to know. You need to tell me. Tell me right now while I drink this tequila. I mean water. My expectation for silent movies died at La La Land. It's kind of amazing how the inclusion of La La Land makes you realize that no new films are going to be here, or excuse me, no very old films are going to be there. We need the OG Blade Runner, Ratatouille, also Godzilla and King Kong, hopefully, and Hanabi. Interesting picks. I hope you mean like the 1954 Godzilla and the 1933 King Kong, and not like Godzilla versus King Kong. But hey, maybe you're into that kind of stuff. Sofia Coppola once again being disrespected. Women do exist in film, guys. I mean, that's true, and maybe we'll see an example of that very, very soon. I'm waiting for something stupid to crack the top 30. Maybe. Let's get Cook, Thief, Wife, Lover, and Cleo 5 to 7 in the top 30. Could happen. Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Pulp Fiction, Whiplash, please. Ooh, Interesting choices. That could happen as well. The movie where Robbie Williams plays a monkey. I don't know what that is. Agnes Varda being pumped up in the chat. Also to see Treasure of the Sierra Madre, but I doubt it. That'd be a good pick. I wonder if your fellow cinephiles agreed. Let's find out. Oh my God, Madam Web. Could you imagine? Could you imagine Madam Web being in this list? I missed the beginning of the video. Has Aliens placed yet? No, it has not. So, moving on. Let's do it. 6 films tied for 26th place. What do we got? We got The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, everybody. Fallen from 17th down to 26th. The big old epic from Sergio Leone. One of the best films ever made. So glad that it's here. But it did fall, which means there are other films in the top 20. Oh boy. Next, coming up, we've got Schindler's List, jumping up from 39th to 26th. Steven Spielberg does it again. He is not kidding around, people. Will there be other Steven Spielberg films in this list? Jurassic Park was in last year's list. Are we going to see that show up again? I guess we're just going to have to find out. Maybe it's the next film, also tied for 26th place. Just kidding, it's Rear Window time, baby. Alfred Hitchcock has arrived. Again. This one moving up from 97th place to 26th. Very interesting that this film places ahead of both Vertigo and Psycho. The two films that I think are more well regarded than this film, although I think this film is just more popular. And therefore, here it is, showing up. I would love to see The Birds somewhere else on this list, because I think I had it in my list for top 10. Although, no, I think I took The Birds off. Yeah, maybe I killed it. Maybe I killed The Birds. I'm a bad vegan. Okay, moving on from Rear Window. Also tied for 26th place, we have Persona, the Ingmar Bergman classic, dropping from 22nd to 26th. A small little drop. You know what? It probably just got a little bit confused, maybe had a bit of an identity crisis, and it couldn't just bring itself to vote for itself or something like that. So it just dropped. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone's fine. No one needs to go see a therapist in Persona. Everything's fine. Next on the list, we have Come and See, that wartime movie that everyone loves, but no one's seen. It's another big film on the Letterboxd Top 250, I believe in the top 5. It might be number 2. This film moving up from 59th place to 26th. I'm going to make it my personal mission to see this film this year, and I'm probably going to rent it from the video store, so that's cool. Here we go. Next film tied for 26th place, Apocalypse Now. Look at that nice double bill of Come and See and Apocalypse Now. I think war might be bad, you guys. I think war might be bad. This is another film that's from my personal top 10, which obviously wasn't good enough to have it hang on to its place of 22nd, dropping down to 26th place. Whoo. War, what is it good for? From what I've heard, absolutely nothing. Moving on now, we have 4 films. 4 films, just 4, tied for 22nd place. Let's see what they are. Starting off with Princess Mononoke, moving up from 39th place to 22nd. Another Ghibli film, another Miyazaki film. Love to see these as high as they can possibly be, but also interesting that it is higher up than Spirited Away, the one film that I think everyone agrees is the best Ghibli film, except not in this community. So there you go, Princess Mononoke. I'm going to have this one down to Gillian Anderson being the voice of the Wolf Mother, and so all of the horny people voted for it over Spirited Away, which, you know what, I'm fine with. Next up, we have Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Ooh, baby. I love it. I want to put this into my veins immediately. We've got this one moving up from 31st place to 22nd. So goddamn happy this movie continues to impress people and continues to be on people's mind. And just for context, I'm not totally sure on the numbers, but we are right now at a place where films tied at this part of the list are getting about equal votes to the number one film from last year. That lets you know how much the votes from here are starting to concentrate. So, yeah, these films are here because a lot of people wanted them to be here. Incredible, incredible stuff. Moving on, from Portrait of a Lady on Fire, also tied for 22nd place, we have Interstellar, Christopher Nolan's big old attempt to do 2001: A Space Odyssey, moving up from 39th to 22nd. And you know what? I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen more Christopher Nolan films in this list. I thought that there was a moment where this might be like a super heavy, like, film bro list, but if it were, then there'd be more Nolan, right? Like, Kubrick is a given, Fincher is a given, but Nolan, you'd think there'd be more Nolan films, but there are not. For the person in the chat asking how many votes in total cast, it's basically 2,200 and something, with, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, 866 individual films being voted for. Lots of movies. Lots of movies. So, let's move on and see what else is at 22. Do the Right Thing. Spike Lee's classic, the film that put him on the map. Dropping, however, from 14th place, out of the top 20. So there you go. We have a number of films dropping out of the top 20. A lot of new films are going to be getting into the top 20. What are they going to be? Speculate in the chat. But for right now, I'm gonna pull a fast one on you and let you know that there's only 2 films tied for 20th place. So after this, we're in the top 20, everybody. We're almost there. We can see daylight at the end of the tunnel, and it looks oh so beautiful. I think it might even be in Technicolor. So, next up, the 2 films tied for 20th. Number 1 of those films is The Dark Knight. Remember that thing I said about Christopher Nolan? Whoops. So, of course, it was going to be here. It's in the top 10 of the Letterboxd Top 250. Here at Cinemateq, though, it is only number 20, moving up from 22nd place. Not a lot of movement. Not a lot of movement, but a bit of movement. Positive movement, too. Next up, at 20, the other film tied for 20th. It's Seven Samurai. Akira Kurosawa coming in. This might be the only Kurosawa film on the list, unless you're counting Kiyoshi Kurosawa, which you shouldn't because that's a different Kurosawa. Anyways, Seven Samurai moving up from 31st to 20th. And I think I'm going to be going to see the 4K restoration of this in October, so I'm pretty psyched for that. I can see in the chat someone asking, are we going to see Jean Dalmas in this list? I don't know. Maybe. But now we need to get into the top 20 proper. The top 20 proper. Marlena is biting her nails right now. You should be. This is when the suspense, the tension is palpable. You could cut the air with a knife. Man, that's an overused cliche. The next film on this list, the top 20 film, one of the 3 films tied for 17th place, is Pulp Fiction, the Tarantino classic that let everyone know that Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta are good actors, actually, and only one of them has maintained that credibility over the course of their career. And when you consider some of the movies that Samuel L. Jackson is in, that is wild. So, let us now move on to the next film tied for 17th place. Goodfellas, moving up from 39th to 17th. You knew that Martin Scorsese could not be stopped, that he would be on a roll, that he would want a top 50 film, and by golly, he got it. Goodfellas, number 17. And the final film tied for 17th place, we've got Citizen Kane, the film that was at the top of the Sight and Sound Top 100 for oh so many years before Vertigo knocked it off of its perch. It is only good enough for 17th according to the Cinemateq community, but that is no laughing matter because it moved up from 77th to 17th. 60 places. Not bad for one of the so-called best films ever made. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's worth your time. I can guarantee you that. What I can also guarantee is that there are 3 films tied for 14th place. This is getting into it. This is getting real into it. Top 15, everyone. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we've arrived here? We've been waiting a year for this. A year to see what the top 15 films of all time are. Good God. What are they? Let's find out. The first film tied for 14th place is There Will Be Blood. PTA ain't gonna stop, and you ain't gonna stop him. This film is moving up from 39th place to 14th, and my goodness, I guess it just had to drink up your milkshake. Although you voted for it, so you drank up someone else's milkshake. I'm glad you like milkshakes. They're delicious. Next up on the list, also tied for 14th place, we have The Empire Strikes Back. This is a film that was in the top 20 last year at 17th and is now at 14th, moving from top 20 to top 15. Oh my goodness. Why do I have it that this film came out in 1999? I don't know. That's incorrect. I'm actually talking about the re-release where they added in all of the shitty CGI. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, obviously this film came out in 1980. We all know that. We don't need to continue making fun of me in the chat for this. This is a film that's tied for 14th, but there is one film that is also tied with 14th. What film is as good? You know what? Hold on. I want to pause on this for a second because I remembered something I wanted to say on this. Why is it that The Empire Strikes Back actually moved up a place, but Star Wars dropped so far into 97th or 94th? Why? What is it about Empire that keeps it in the top 20, whereas Star Wars dropped down into the 90s? What's up with that? And I'm asking you because you're the people who voted. So I'm going to need a goddamn explanation. Thank you very much. All right. Now that I've said that, because Empire is better, well, could you be a bit more nuanced? Also, Star Wars is a superior film to Empire Strikes Back. Like, watch the 2 films back to back and tell me which one you have more fun with. It's not a hard distinction to make. Anyways, we're not editorializing here. We're just telling you, or I'm just telling you what you guys voted for. And the next film that's tied for 14th is Old Boy. Whoa. Man, is this the only film in the top 20 about a man having sex with his daughter? I hope so. This film is moving up from 59th place to 14th. This is the Park Chan-wook classic from 2003, where a man wakes up in a room, decides that he doesn't want to be here anymore, and just starts punching the wall for many, many, many months, and that turns him into a fighting machine, and then he just beats people with a hammer for 2 hours, and then also hammers something else, the aforementioned daughter. And if I just spoiled Old Boy for you, grow the fuck up. This movie came out 21 years ago. Go watch the goddamn movie you haven't. The spoiler won't spoil that much because you're probably going to be in disbelief the whole time. Like, oh no, he probably doesn't. He probably doesn't do that. That's how good this movie is. And Tan, I never forget the squid. R.I.P. the squid in Old Boy. You're never far from my heart. Moving on, we have 2 films. 2 films tied at 12th place. Pre-recorded? What are you talking about? This is live, baby. 2 films tied for 12th place. The first one is The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. This film dropping from 11th place down to 12. The film that many people hold up as the best Lord of the Rings film, but I am brave enough to say that it is actually Two Towers, a film that is not represented in this list. But hey, you guys love Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, and I am here for it. You love your big epic 3.5-hour films with multiple endings. It's cool. I'm fine with that. I promise. And the other film tied for 12th place is Parasite. Another film dropping out of the top 10. What films in the top 10 are going to be left? I don't know. But we're going to find out because the next films we're going to be looking at are the 5 films that are tied for 7th place. We're here. We're at the top 10. We're on the precipice of greatness. We are looking down into a canyon and saying, I don't know if I want to jump in there. And instead, we are looking up and saying, ooh, that cloud looks real nice. I want to go there instead. And then we grow goddamn wings because we rolled a 20 for animal handling or some bullshit. I don't really know how Dungeons and Dragons work. And then we end up flying towards that cloud. And then we embrace it. We become part of the cloud. The cloud goes into us because it's just water vapor, so we can breathe it in. And then we become glorious. We become glorious. It's still pretty high up. I mean, you got wings, though. You got wings now. We all have wings now. This is something that is true. We rolled for it. We got it. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes when I go off on like rambling, improvised like bullshit, I forget that I'm actually connected to reality. So now that we're at the top 10, I'm just going to remind you, like the live stream. Throw a like on it. That'd be real nice of you. All right. I'm hydrated again, even though I'm sweating. I'm wearing linen right now, guys. You're not supposed to sweat in linen. The top 10. Starting off with 5 films tied for 7th place. This is the important shit. These are the real ones. This is going to live on. Well beyond all of us. The top 10 best films ever start now. The first film tied for 7th place is The Shining, dropping from 4th down to 7th. That is Kubrick film number 5. We are so good at discovering Stanley Kubrick. The next film, tied for 7th place, is The Shawshank Redemption. Oh, we just had a film drop out of 4th, and now we've got a film dropping out of 3rd. What is going on? What is happening right now? What is in this top 10? Let's find out some more. The next film, tied for 7th place, is Taxi Driver, another Scorsese classic, moving up from 14th to 7th. Incredible stuff happening right now. But there's still more films tied for 7th place. The first one of them is Blade Runner. Oh, you know I'm happy to see this one. This was in my top 10. One of the most beautiful movies that you are ever going to see in your life. An absolute banger. Love it to death. Glad that it's here. Tied for 7th place. Good job, Ridley Scott. And now we're going to the last film tied for 7th place. And I will tell you that after I reveal this film, there are no more ties. 1 through 6 are individual films. So the last film tied for 7th place is Alien from 1976. Also, like Blade Runner, moving up from 11th to 7th. Welcome to the top 10, Ridley Scott. Did you have to take both places? Yeah, I guess you did. So here we go. Incredible. Another great film. Alien is dope. Blade Runner is dope. All the films tied for 7th are dope. If you haven't seen them yet, do it. Wait until this live stream is done, but then goddamn do it. This is a great film. Even though I think there's some issues with like the sound mixing and parts of it, but hey, it was made in 1976 before people had like small calculators, right? So I can't be too critical of it, even though I still am. The thing better be above Alien. I don't know, Video Essay Watcher. Maybe we will. Also, great name. You belong in this community. As do you all. Wasn't Alien 1979? Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. What, do you think I run a movie YouTube channel or something? Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. I swear I proofread this. Anyways, let's see now what is in the rest of this top 10. Like I said, 6th on down, there's no ties. There's no ties. And we know that films have dropped out of 3rd place 4th place, 7th place, 6th place, 8th place. A lot of films have dropped out of these top ones. And we still haven't seen 2001 yet, and we still haven't seen 12 Angry Men yet. The number 1 and number 2 movie from last year. 12 Angry Men was number 1. 2001 was number 2. I mentioned there was a lot of big films that dropped out of this list. Are we going to see some Titans fall? Are we going to play Titanfall? No, but we still might see some Titans fall. Let's go to number 6. What is the number 6 best film of all time, according to you, the viewers at home? Why, it's Mulholland Drive, of course, the David Lynch classic, moving up from 17th place to 6th. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. God, do I love to see this here. Ooh, do I love to see David Lynch in the top 10. Yes. Yes. Love it. God, I feel so California right now wearing this linen shirt, and it's so appropriate that Mulholland Drive is right here saying hello to me. Because it takes place in California. Hollywood, specifically. You understand. You've seen it. You voted for it. So, 2001, I thought, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God, what happened to me? See, the funny thing is, for the films that were in the list last year, I just copied the list from last year and then just moved the films around based on their new placing, right? So like, it means this was wrong last year too, and I just didn't correct it. Oh, I'm an idiot. But yeah, you guys are right. It's like 2001. I'm really warm all of a sudden. Hey, someone just took a like off the live stream because of that. That's fair. So, now we're moving on to the top 5. What is film number 5? The top 5 film of all time. It is The Thing from 1982, and I know that's correct. This one moving up from 22nd place to 5th. What up, John Carpenter? Great to see you. You're a little late to the party, but I'm glad you're here. Oh, yes, I love this movie. This is a movie that I own on 4K Blu-ray because I need to see all of the details in these images. Love this movie to death. So glad that it's here. I'm so goddamn happy it's in the top 5 and that you all decided to vote for it as well. Hell yeah, The Thing. But now we need to get up to 4th place. What is the 4th place film? What film is by itself in 4th place? Well, I have the answer for you. And the answer for that is Whiplash, moving up from 9th place to 4th. The Damien Chazelle classic, one of the films that you will most likely find in a Gen Alpha top 4 on Letterboxd, along with La La Land. Here it is, the number 4th best film of all time, according to you, the people, moving up from 9th place to 4th. Congratulations to Damien Chazelle. You finally accomplished something. I'm never going to get tired of telling that joke in particular. Doesn't matter who the director is. And now we will move on. But I will correct someone in the chat. Shawshank Redemption has already fallen off this list. We've already seen it. So, what's top 3? What's top 3? What's left? What are some of the best films ever that we haven't talked about yet? Maybe there's some wild cards. Maybe. What if it's the Birds of Prey movie? That could be interesting. Next up, in the number 3 position, the number 3 best film of all time, the 3rd place film on this list, we have The Godfather. This one moving up from 4th place to 3rd, also gaining a little bit of traction. This is, of course, considered one of the best films of all time. It is part of the 4-film absolute banger streak that Francis Ford Coppola had, being Godfather, Apocalypse Now, another movie and The Godfather Part 2. But yeah, basically Coppola at this point in his life, The Conversation is the other film. At this point in Coppola's career, he was so good. He could do no wrong. And in fact, he did no wrong. It was sixth place, not fourth TJ plays? What? What was? The Godfather? It might have been tied for fourth. It was probably tied for fourth. Maybe. I don't know. I think I checked all of these things, and then maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. So now we're at the top two. As I said, in last year's list, we had 12 Angry Men first, 2001: A Space Odyssey 2. Are we going to see a new contender? Did either of those films drop off completely, entirely? Let's find out. The number 2 film of all time, as voted on by you, is 12 Angry Men, dropping from first place into second. And there you have it. There you have it. It took years for the Sight and Sound Top 100 to crown a film that was not Citizen Kane. It took decades for it to do that. I think maybe they had a different film for like the very first one, and then after that it was Citizen Kane for like 30 years until Vertigo dethroned it. And now, in the second year of this list existing, we already have a lead change, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible. This is exactly why I love to do this shit. This is great. I love it. We're getting a shake-up. So, now, I want everyone to tell me in the chat what they want. Not what they think is number one, what they want to be number one. Tell me in the chat right now what you wish upon wish and hope upon hope is in number one. I need to know. I need you to tell me. I need you to tell me right now, because in a minute, we're all going to know what the truth is. We can live in whatever fantasy world we want right now. This is literally Schrodinger's cat. We do not know what the number one is until I press this button. So tell me, chat, what's number one? What's number one? James Corden's Cinderella, interesting pick. No wonder you're a Moonfall fan. Sparks documentary, Three Colors Red, Cars 3, The Wind Rises, Cats, I Want the Lion King. It's Such a Beautiful Life by Don Hertzfeld. 2001, Based on the Evidence. It's likely going to be Joker or something. Showgirls, Gladiator, Not One Pasolini, Only One Lynch. I Want Lagan, Serbian film. Ew. Godzilla 1954, Aliens, Gladiator again. So many interesting picks, but there can only be one truth, as is in life. There is never any gray. It's only black or white for everything. Nuance doesn't exist, folks. You heard it here first. The number one best film ever, as voted by the Cinemateq community, by you wonderful, beautiful cinephiles, is... I gotta find the button. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Taking over first place, moving up from second. There you go. There you have it. The greatest film ever. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Let the hate come in through the chat. Tell me that this was not the film you picked, even though this film received more votes than any other film. By a lot, I will add. I thought it was a given. Well, yeah. I can't believe Kubrick won. He's so underrated. I know. Considering he came from nowhere to getting 6 films on this list, including the number one spot, like, I really hope other people start watching Kubrick films. Now that we have confirmed that it's Kubrick's year. We had our Brat summer, but it is in fact Kubrick's year. Evidence spoke, LOL. I mean, it is perfect. So, I mean, it's a really hard film to argue against. I think even among the people who perhaps wanted to see something a bit different in the number one spot, you still kind of got to look at it and say, yeah, it's a good one. I am so proud, says Yassi. Your baby boy won. We can all be proud parents today. even though I don't think I picked this one. But hey, there it is. Your number one film of all time, for now, 2001: A Space Odyssey. And we're just going to have to come back next year and see if it still is. And this is going to be interesting because I wonder if in year 3, will we start seeing rebellion against established films just for the sake of shaking it up? How trolly are you going to get next year? I don't know. But there's a chance you're going to get very trolly. So one thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to move this back into this view. Hello again. Now you get to see more of my shoulders. I am going to close that because I don't think there's anything else there. I am going to find my letterbox list. I am going to edit it, and I am going to publish it. Save. So there you go, everyone. The Cinemateq Top 100 for 2024 is now live. It is now live on here. I created 5 accounts to vote a troll film, and it actually barely made it. LMAO, sorry. Oh, why would you do that? Not cheat. Why would you tell me that you cheated? Because now I can just go back, find the film that you voted in for 5. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. And I can just delete your votes and redo the whole list. You just fucked up, kid. You just fucked up real bad. Arthur C. Clarke Love. I mean, yeah, that's good. Anyways, I'm going to go to sleep. That was a lot of fun to sit through. Still wish that we got a lot of weirder picks for this year's list, but was still a pretty solid list. Might watch Love Exposure tomorrow. Do it. Although maybe Love Exposure won't be on the list tomorrow. I guess we're just going to have to see. Actually, I bet I can figure this out. So yeah, number 5. Oh yeah, it was probably fucking Airdoll. What else would be like a troll pick out of the films that got 5 votes? Yeah, it's Airdoll. Are you stupid? You've got to be the stupidest fucking chatter in the entire world. You fucking tell me that you made 5 accounts telling me the exact amount of votes that you did and told me that you just barely got a troll film into the top 100. And there's only one film tied for that place that would be considered a troll film. Are you fucking dumb, dude? Holy shit. So this is what I said. This is what I meant in the rules for the top 100, where I said, don't cheat, all no. This is how I knew that I would know, because stupid assholes will always want to come out of the woodwork and let you know that they trolled you. Except you didn't, because you fucked up, kid. And you could have gotten away with it too, because I was willing to let that movie skate by because it's a Hirokazu Koreeda film. But here we are. Pink Flamingos is a masterpiece. Cool. And you said there would be no roast today. Shake my head. Hey, what could I do? I can only react to what I'm given. Who was it? Who was it that did the dumb thing? Hold on, I want to find their username again. Did they delete it? Oh no, there he is. Alex. Well, God, I should fucking just ban you for being an asshole. Will you do the Cinemateq 2025 Film Awards? Of course I will. Redo the list. I may do like a second list. I don't know. Because like as much as I say that like, oh yeah, like Airdoll's obviously the troll list, maybe for this person it's not the troll movie. And also by just completely eliminating 5 ballots, that could have like pretty drastic changes on the placement of some movies. But I guess that would make it more honest. I guess that would just make it more honest. And it wouldn't be much for me to redo it. I would just need to delete those 5 ballots. But like, let's poll everyone in the chat. These are the movies that were tied for 94th place. We've got Air Doll, Akira, Baby Driver, Chungking Express, Close Up, Coraline, Dog Day Afternoon, Donnie Darko, Get Out, In the Mood for Love, Lady Bird, La Samurai, M, Magnolia, Man with the Movie Camera, Metropolis, Mir, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Singing in the Rain, Star Wars, The Exorcist, The Lord of the Rings, The Passion of Joan of Arc, The Truman Show, The Wolf of Wall Street, and Zodiac. Like, Air Doll's the troll movie, right? Am I insane for thinking that? Are there any other films from that list that you would identify as like a quote-unquote troll film? Close Up was there. Yeah, Close Up is tied for 94th. Baby Driver could have also been a troll pick, to be honest. I have more trouble believing that simply because there was another Edgar Wright film in the top 100, and it seems to me like people who are voting for Hot Fuzz are probably also picking that film. Look at the 5 ballots and examine all the movies submitted across all films. So I did this. Like, for the films that popped up that I wasn't aware of, I did look at all of those ballots to see if there was much cross-pollination between them. But the person who did this, while being a dummy and outing themselves in the chat, was smart enough to make sure that there wasn't like enough crossover. Like, I think between the different 5 ballots, because I did look at these, there was maybe 1 or 2 films, like Air Doll obviously was all of them, but then there wasn't much cross-pollination beyond that. Like, maybe 1 film came up like once or twice in some of the other ballots, so that was good enough for me to let it skate. The Wolf of Wall Street, maybe? Nah, I mean, we're not going to say that a Scorsese film is a troll film, especially when there are other Scorsese films in the top 100. Like, that doesn't make... Actually, yeah. How about, okay, here's the deal. If you're still watching, person who did the trolling, if you tell me what the troll film is and come clean, I won't ban your account. You can still be a member of the community if you fess up right now. I believe in forgiveness. If you're still here, tell me what the troll film is. I'll give you a few minutes. Honestly, this is a good enough excuse to boot La La Land. I support it. I mean, La La Land would still be in the list regardless. Like, for the films, for the other films that person voted for, like, for any film to lose 5 votes, I think the only film that would be, like, really affected from that would obviously be Air Doll. A couple of the other ones would probably drop down a bit and would cause, like, some of the placements to change. But I don't think that any other films would completely fall off. And also, you know, looking at Nicholas Joseph's comment here, only 2 out of my 10 picks made it on. I think this is a good reason for me to delete the troll, the troll ballots, because maybe this would mean that one of Nicholas's picks would actually end up on the list because of this. You know, it's true. No Blue Velvet. Whiplash that high in La La Land. I mean, it's not surprising. Like, if you remember when I was doing the letterbox roasts, so many films or so many people have Whiplash and La La Land in their top 4. Damn, sorry TJ, it was Baby Driver. I thought it would be funny. I'm sorry. I can take the block. I deserve it. It was Baby Driver. Not one John Ford. That's true. I'm actually going to look at the ballots for a second. Maybe I'll show you guys the ballots as well. Baby Driver. Really? So here are all the ballots. You're not going to be able to see all of them. Air Doll is a good movie, man. Okay. Like, at this point, I am trusting to choose Alex at this point, because maybe Air Doll is the troll movie, and maybe they're just telling me what I want to hear, so to keep Air Doll on it. But Baby Driver. Let's take a look at those ballots. So films that would be affected by this. Oops, don't want to do that again. Bones and All, Saint Maud, The Truman Show, You're Never Really Here, Ratcatcher, Love Lies Bleeding. Wait, was Truman Show? Yeah, Truman Show is in the list. Leon the Professional, The Florida Project, and Princess Mononoke. Interesting. So even by deleting this vote already, it affects the list in other ways, because The Truman Show would just drop right off the list. because that was one of them. Let's see, what else did they vote for? Wolf of Wall Street would also drop off the list. Shawshank Redemption might fall further down the list. Whiplash and Her would lose a vote, so Her would probably drop down. Interstellar, Fight Club, Volume 2, Cars 2. Yeah, Shawshank Redemption would fall down. What a way to ruin this moment. I mean, you know what? Things like this happen on the internet. And when we do lists like this on the internet, this is always bound to happen. Which is why I'll say to anyone who messes with the list in the future, don't fucking tell me. Keep your mouth shut. Just seeing how else this may affect the list. Inglourious Bastards, I don't think that would drop. Oh, actually, no. Inglourious Bastards would drop down a bit. Godfather, I don't think Godfather would drop. Whiplash might drop, though. Interesting. And then, yeah, I mean, I gotta say, to the person who did this, you did a really good job of covering your tracks. There's really no overlap between these ballots. So if you are being truthful about Baby Driver, then you did a good job. I would not have suspected those as being duplicates. They were all done a couple of days apart from the looks of it as well. Two on the same day, but that's not normal. 5 accounts is wild, though. Hey, people got a lot of Google accounts. I've got like 3 or 4. Oh, 3 on the 23rd. Yeah, okay. Overall hatred for animation. I think, just some people have a problem. And I mean, I didn't put any animated films in my top 10. I think I think a lot of people have trouble putting animation into like a serious top 10. Like they just animated films largely are films that you see when you're younger and that you have a lot of affection for, but I think people tend to like leave them in the past kind of. And so I think they both just end up, or I think they just end up kind of falling off of these kind of top 10 lists. We don't take them seriously because we saw them when we were children, except for people like Bone Snap who had 2 animated films in his, and that would be Aladdin and WALL-E, maybe. All right, so I gotta decide. I gotta figure out in my mind if I do want to delete these ballots. I think I will, but I just wish I had like more. I just wish I had more proof that those were the troll ones. Because once again, the troll could just be trolling to mess with shit even further. Maybe the first comment was a troll, and now they're just saying shit because they don't want to be banned. It's an interesting problem that we've gotten ourselves into. R.I.P. Shawshank. Yep, it did fall. Baby Driver in the same ballot was a huge troll. Is it though? It's possible this person's it's possible that ballot was submitted by someone who's like 17. I could see someone watching those films and putting them in. A younger person doing that. Just leave the list like that and pay no mind to the troll. Shake my head. Maybe that's the best way, but I do want to... yeah. It's difficult. It's definitely difficult. Although I will say, just looking at some of these Airdoll ballots, they seem more legit than the other ballots we were looking at. If there is one legitimate vote for Baby Driver or Airdoll, you know it can't be the troll vote. Actually, that's true. That's true. Is there anyone in the chat right now who wants to own up to voting for either Airdoll or Baby Driver? And I know, I'm sorry, this seems like it's going to be ruining it, but I am kind of invested in the integrity of this list. So also, like, you guys in the comments don't have to keep talking about this. Let's just put that question out there. Did anyone in here vote for either of those 2 films? Let me know in the chat. But beyond that, let me know how you feel about the list in general, how you're feeling about how it evolved over time, what your big takeaways were. Let's discuss that kind of stuff, right? So for me, what I thought was kind of fascinating was in like the top half, 51 to 51 to the end. There was more surprises. There was films kind of out of left field, and I enjoyed that a lot. But what the top 50 looked like was more of a movement towards what the established top 50 are. Obviously, the order is different, but it seemed like we were moving closer to like the IMDb top 50 and the Letterboxd top 250, which I'm not going to look at as a kind of indictment of the I'm not going to look at it as an indictment of the list or the community. I think you guys are incredible for actually voting for these films. But it does make me feel like the community as a whole is really using these other lists, these top 250 lists, as a way of guiding what they are going to be watching and what they're going to be looking at. And especially, those top 20, 25 films from those lists, which I think is interesting. We also have to remember that the community did grow over the past year and that we had 50% more entries than we did last year as well. And so maybe the way that the audience is evolving is that we are bringing in more people who have more traditional views to what the top 10 films of all time are. And that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. It's not like they picked bad movies. So it's an interesting list. It is an interesting list. Absolutely. So we got people saying here, the list doesn't feel like personal picks, to be honest. So the one thing that I'm going to just say to maybe combat that a little bit is just remind you right off the bat that that there were 227 ballots cast, maybe 222 if we get this other thing sorted. But of those ballots for 200 of those 220-ish ballots, 2001: A Space Odyssey only had 41 votes. So like what? 20%? 20% of all ballots cast had 2001: A Space Odyssey on it. So I think actually we can definitively say that people were picking their favorite films. It's just those films ended up as the 600 plus films that didn't make it onto the list. For example, films that received one vote and include things like La Commune, La Dolce Vita, La Jetée, La Note, Kawadin, Kung Fu Hustle, Joker, Jojo Rabbit, Jimpa, King Kong, Kingdom of Heaven, Hiroshima Mon Amour, Creep, Crimes and Misdemeanors, fucking Camera Buff, Burning, Bullet, Buffalo 66. That made up about, that was how many? That's 550 films that got one vote. 550. Those are the personal picks. Those are the personal picks right there. I know someone in the chat, when we were talking about what film should be number one, someone said a Goofy movie. You're probably the person who voted for a Goofy movie. I'm looking at it right here. It got one vote. As did A Dog's Will, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, 4 Months, 3 Weeks, 2 Days, 3 Iron, Army of Shadows, Badlands, Barbie, The Blair Witch Project, Britannia Hospital, Carrie, Cars 2, Castle in the Sky, City of the Living Dead, Spring Breakers, The River, Pursuit of Happiness. So many films that I would think are people's like favorite films are here. Triangle of Sadness, Umberto D, V for Vendetta, Under the Skin, Unbreakable, UHF, Wolf Children, X2, Yojimbo. So yeah, I think a lot of favorite films were included. But if you pick 9 favorites and then you throw in 2001: A Space Odyssey because you think it's the best film ever made, then you get the list that we got. Or maybe you do just think that it's the best movie ever and it's your favorite and it's part of that favorite. That's how this worked. Bro, that Barbie vote is mine. Hell yeah. So yeah, like I'm not mad about this list. I think it is a proper reflection of the community and where people's heads are at. And there are some interesting headlines, right? No Pixar films. That's fucking wild. Pixar. Toy Story, Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 3, nowhere to be found. Not here. Not in the top 100. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Inside Out 2, not here. Incredible. Was there a Disney film even? I know that Beauty and the Beast was in last year's list. It's not here now. So, yeah, it's a very interesting list. I stand for the Pixar slander. I'm sorry, man-child. Hey, WALL-E's great. WALL-E is a great film. And it's not even that, like, you know, whether or not you think Pixar films are good, right? They're very popular films. A lot of people love Ratatouille. And I see someone here in the chat saying RIP Network. So maybe we should talk briefly about some of the films that fell out of the list, aside from just the Pixars. I will say that the film to fall the highest off the list was Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park, I think, in last year's list was in the 20s, and it fell completely off the list. Not there at all. I can take another quick look at last year's list on Letterboxd and just let you guys know some of the other ones that fell off. I'll be working from memory, so Capade say to TJ LOL. What? Jurassic Park was 25. Yeah, there you go. Shawshank was in top 5 last year. That's true. But yeah, let's take a look at the top 100 from last year. All right, I'm up for work at 3 a.m. It's been real. Thank you very much, Ryan, for dropping by. I appreciate it. Have fun at work. So yeah, here we go. Here's the top 100 list from last year, right? So let's try to find the films that dropped off. Completely. Jurassic Park at 25. Remember, there are ties in here, so it's not actually 25. What's the next film to drop off? Across the Spider-Verse. That dropped off completely. Arrival dropped off completely from 39. House dropped off. Moonlight dropped off. What else? American Psycho dropped off. Texas Chainsaw Massacre dropped off. Babylon dropped off. Cinema Paradiso dropped off. Beauty and the Beast dropped off. Halloween High and Low, both of those dropped off. Ratatouille dropped off. Possession dropped off. WALL-E dropped off. Avengers Endgame dropped off. Before Sunset dropped off. Blue Velvet dropped off. Like, these are some really fucking good movies that are no longer here. Ikuru dropped off. Evil Dead 2 dropped off. Brazil dropped off. Network is gone. Videodrome RIP. Two Towers is dead. Requiem for a Dream is no more. Your Name is no one's name anymore. 8.5 got fucked. Amadeus got fucked. Before Sunrise got fucked. Birdman got fucked. Blowout no longer there. Children of Men, Climax, Dead Poets Society, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Funeral Parade of Roses, Gran Torino, Heat, Jojo Rabbit, Knives Out, La Dolce Vita, Little Women, Lost Highway, Only Yesterday, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, RoboCop, Paths of Glory, Suspiria, The Handmaiden, The Holy Mountain, The Lion King, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, The Royal Tenenbaums, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, Titanic, Twin Peaks, all gone. All gone in the blink of an eye, or rather, the sound of a keystroke. And that's wild. That's wild, the amount of things that dropped off. By the way, I'm just going to check chat. Did anyone come forward by saying they voted for either Baby Driver or Air Doll? Anyone at all? Close Up is Kiarostami. Yes, Close Up is Kiarostami. I voted Boyhood and Eraserhead in top 2. Nice. Great job, TJ. Thank you very much, Dory. I appreciate it. Virgin Suicides was my personal number 1 pick. Nice. A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night was me. There you go. Now people are feeling represented. It was, in fact, a film that was voted for. I Missed the Start. Nice. Close Up is sick. Yeah, I still need to see Close Up. Which has me thinking about a video I might make in the future, although it's going to be really fucking hard to do. Although less hard, depending on how I deal with Air doll slash baby driver. I stand for Pixar slander. Oh yeah, I already read that one out. Shawshank was in the top 5 last year. No, I erased it by mistake. I'm sorry, Ryan. Across the Spider-Verse was there, wasn't it? Yep, it was, and now it is not. La La Land making it 2 years in a row and Moonlight dropping off is racist. People just like the singing. You know, it can't be that they, you know, prefer the depression of one over the depression of the other. It's just the singing. They just like the singing. Moonlight is so damn good. It is great. Videodrome was on my list last year, but it fell off my list this year. It happens. I think it might have been on my list last year, or at least Dead Ringers was. I'm kind of surprised about 8.5. I mean, how many people watch Fellini, right? Like one of the videos that I'm planning on doing in a little while, I don't know how soon it's going to be, but it's probably like coming up. And I'm just going to go back to this view. I'm going to be looking at some of my favorite films that have like less than 15,000 views on Letterboxd and just recommend them to people by talking about them a little bit. And you know what? I'm going to use my platform for good for a quick minute. You know, content creation is a weird thing. It's a very strange thing. And I often find myself at ebbs and flows. I want to create content and then I don't want to create content. And so I'm constantly trying to figure out what is it that I want to do. Live streams are easy, of course. But not every live stream is going to peak out at like 40 viewers. Sometimes I'll just be live streaming to 10 of you, which is awesome. But I also kind of want, you know, if I'm going to make content, I kind of want to reach people. And so I'm always trying to figure out like, what is a video format that I could do, or what is an idea for a video that I could do that will reach people, but will also like have that goal of letting people know about movies that I think they should check out. And randomly, because YouTube is very random, YouTube served this channel to me called Shadow on the Stairs. This person only has, I think, 7 videos to their name, already almost doubling me in subscribers. So that's how you know they're onto something. And you'll notice that the video with the most views is this one here. 122,000 views. 3 modern classic horror movies for existential dread. Sorry, not classic. Cosmic horror movies for existential dread. And this obviously hit for some people. This idea that there are 3 modern cosmic horror films that you should know about. And if you were to actually go and watch this video, she tells you about 3 movies that you will never have heard of before, but explains them well, lets you know why they're worth watching, and gives you a way to watch them by letting you know like what streaming service that they're on. And seeing the simplicity of this and seeing how effective it was. And even if you look at some of the other videos that she's done, like you might say, oh yeah, like 4,000 views and 4,000 views and 3,000 views. Like that's not much. That's still better than what my videos do, even when they get released. So like, if this is something that potentially works and it's something that people are interested in that they need people like they want a film influencer, cringe, to guide them, to give them ideas, to explain why they should be watching certain films and giving them like the energy to go watch them. If that's kind of the key that can unlock something here, then that's something that I'm interested in. Don't bother with reviews. Like, let people know what the older films are that they should desperately want to check out. And if I were you, I would subscribe to this channel. Like, obviously she hasn't been able to like hit the same numbers as this, but she, I think she has an academic background of some kind, very well spoken, very direct, doesn't waste your time. Like, you know, these videos are largely like 5 to 7 minutes long, and yeah, she's cool. I don't know what her name is, but this is her channel. Check it out if you want to. All right, let's get back to the chat. What have you guys been talking about? No blowout. Yeah, let's go back here. Videodrome was on my list last year, but it fell off. No blowout. Handmaiden was on my list this year. Blowout is overrated anyway. Ooh, fights breaking out in the chat. Argento Suspiria, Twin Peaks Cry. Yeah, that was Argento Suspiria that dropped off. I know, it's sad. Lamenting and Mourning. Makes you wonder if those are just placeholder type favorites, like you guys love Gaspar Noé now, but next year maybe it doesn't hold. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Climax dropped off. Gaspar Noé was not on the new list at all. Blowout is one of the greatest sound designs in films, guys. I'm not going to argue it. It's a basic thriller. Sound is great. This was fun, but now I'm realizing we won't see you until next year's TIFF and Top 100 live streams. Well, that's not true. That's not true at all. I will say that there is going to be a bit of a direction change for the content I do. There's going to be less live streams, I think, because I think I could probably make more effective content that reaches more people by just making a video instead of doing a live stream and cutting it down. And so there's going to be like a Cinemateq Film Award live stream in like March. That is going to happen. It's probably going to be March 1st because I think the Oscars are March 2nd. Like that's going to happen. But like the announcement for the the announcement for the voting for the Cinemateq Film Awards, that's probably going to be a video. There's probably not going to be a live stream for that. So like expect very few live streams in the future. Instead, I think I'm going to concentrate more on these sort of like shorter 6 to 7 minute videos that just help people find movies. And I think I'm also going to try to do some weird ones, some weird things, some stuff that will probably require some Discord participation. So if you're not already in the Discord, the link for that is in the description down below. I'm kind of intrigued by this idea. You guys probably know the YouTuber Ludwig, big streamer, and he occasionally will do streams where he like lets his chat in live stream like pick $10,000 worth of stuff, and then that's the stuff that happens in the room. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I obviously don't have $10,000 to just let you guys spend, but the idea of letting you spend like $100 on, you know, random Blu-rays from Amazon, and then I watch them all in a row and then give my opinions on them, like that's kind of interesting, and that's the kind of thing that you could very easily turn into a good thumbnail and title, right? You know, my chat forced me to watch bad movies for 20 hours. It just writes itself, and who wouldn't click on that? So that's kind of the direction I want to be moving in, like trying to think of like quote unquote viral ideas, and then thinking of ways to get people to watch new and different films, and basically shame you into doing what I want. That's what I'm looking at. So yeah, I think the next film the next video I have in mind is going to be something like, I've watched 4,000 films. Here are 4 hidden gems, right? Good title, easy thumbnail. I also have a lot of footage recorded for a video that is just me watching movies for 24 hours straight and kind of just recording my experience. That's a bit more of an undertaking, but I still have that footage. I can still do that. And then, yeah, there's other ideas. Occasionally, I'm probably going to put up a short. I just thought of one the other day that has to do with like my new fascination with Hong Kong action films. I was just looking at my my Letterboxd stats for 2024, and my countries for movies is like the United States, France, and then Hong Kong. And I'm like, yeah, that tracks. And in fact, Hong Kong is probably going to be number 2 by the end of the year. So let's see. What else we got going on in chat? Forgot I didn't subscribe, just did. Thank you so much, B-Scope. I appreciate that. Blowout is a movie about how perspective is relevant and how our eyes can deceive us, and herd mentality. It never gets old. It's a story of humanity. Yep, you're not wrong. We see what we want to see and believe what we want to believe. How subjectivity prevails is so complex and nuanced. Yeah, like how you guys all believe that I am an authority on film. I've basically tricked you. I've been fooling you for years, but I'm not going to dissuade you of the conclusion that you have drawn. TJ, you have seen so many movies, you really could do unlimited, amazing top 3 and top 5 movie collections and rankings. Yeah, I agree. And I also want to try to figure out a way of like for example, one of the videos that I have done that still continues to perform somewhat well is my Cronenberg rank list. But even that only picks up like 20 to 30 views a day. And so if I were to say put out a rank list for all of Lee Chang-dong's films, all 6 of them, I know that just based on the popularity of the director, that's not going to draw an audience. Like I have a Bong Joon-ho ranked list that does nothing, right? So if I want people to actually watch the films, I need to figure out a way to get people to click on a video about Lee Chang-dong when I know to almost a 99% certainty they don't know who he is and they don't give a shit about him. So that's the other like interesting part of this. I want to make a video about Lee Chang-dong where I talk about all 6 of his films and talk about how he might be the greatest living filmmaker. But I got to figure out the approach. And so that's another one that may end up coming in the future. I actually just purchased the Lee Chang-dong 4-film box set from Film Movement. I've seen 3 of the films on the box set. I need to watch 1 more. And I've seen Burning, and so I just need to watch Secret Sunshine, I think is number 6. And so I just watch all those, and then there we go. But once again, that's a little bit of an effort. So also, for those of you who are joining in now, I can see that people are still like coming in. Glad you're here. Please get into the chat. But if you want to see the top 100, you gotta rewind. We're no longer in top 100 mode. We're in talking about the channel and just chatting right now. We're talking about Antonioni blow up, right? Not blow up. My bad. A common mistake. Don't worry about it. We support you, man. Go for it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do appreciate the continued support. The fact that like I've been doing this for about 4 years now, and that there are still people in the chat that I recognize is pretty great. In fact, I think it's been 5 years. Didn't we start in 2019? Holy shit. So yeah, the fact that some of you guys have been hanging around for that long, I do appreciate it. And I mean, I do technically take it for granted because I don't create content that much, but you keep showing up. So that's incredible. Thank you for that. My goal next year is to watch more older films. I plan to see less films next year. I've seen 106 movies this year so far. It's not bad. You know what? That's a good goal. That's a great goal. There are so many good older films out there. And now with the Cinemateq Top 100 2024, you've got some films in there that you can check out that are older. Same TJ, Hong Kong action films are fan-freaking-tastic. I've also been watching a lot of martial arts films. Yeah, like they're so much fun. It's like, I think the idea of a film being so bad that it's good must have originated from like 80s action films or Hong Kong action films, because some of them are not good, but you can still have a chuckle, you know? You can still have a bit of fun with it. And so, yeah, I feel like that must be where that phrase came from. Because I don't think anyone ever says like, oh, it's so bad it's good about a movie from like the 1960s, right? Or even a movie from the 70s. Like it's almost universally like some fucking movie starring Chuck Norris from the 1980s. So yeah, I think maybe I'm onto something there. If you want to go viral, spread hate, sadly. Fuck no. I'm not going to do that. Hate can suck my dick. Favorite movie of the year so far, TJ? Anora. And Dune Part 2. Both of those films are the only 2 films I've given from 2024. Those are the only 5-star films from 2024 that I've rated on Letterboxd. Anora and Dune Part 2. They're basically tied. I think if you want to look at it from the perspective of like which film is harder to make, which film had the higher degree of difficulty, it's Dune Part 2. But Anora is outstanding. I don't want to minimize that film at all. It's a smaller film, but it's still incredible. I may feel differently about it on my second go around. Like with Dune Part 2, I've seen it 3 times in theaters. I gave it a 4.5 star the first time, a 5 star a second time, and a 5 star the third time. I am going to watch Anora in theaters again, and I encourage everyone to go see it. Perhaps my 5 star was influenced heavily by just the audience I was with. I was at the North American premiere at TIFF, and we were just a crowd that was fucking ready for it. We wanted that movie. We needed that movie, and it delivered, and everyone had a great time. And so I don't know how much of that 5 star was influenced by just the crowd I was with, but the vibes, as the kids say, were immaculate. I would watch that video, man. I think if you're going to tackle the I've watched a lot of movies, it would be nice to hear a refreshing take on cinephilia as a disease or addiction. Interesting. I do think that collecting physical media is an addiction. It's something that I struggled with in the past, and now that I'm back to getting physical media again, like, it's not as bad as it was. Like, I have more self-control. And a lot of that just comes down to like having less space, you know? And I'm really just trying to make sure that the films I have on hand are the ones that I watch over and over and over again and that I really love. Like that Lee Chang-dong set, I know I'm going to watch those movies for like ever. He's so good. But I picked up a film from Vinegar Syndrome the other day, and like, this is the other kind of weird thing, right? Like, I have a movie rental store that I can take advantage of. In fact, I have 2. And a lot of the times when I go to buy a film, I am checking to see if I can rent it. And if it's a rental, if I know that I'm probably only going to watch it once, I'm not going to buy it. Now, there are films coming out from Vinegar Syndrome and their partner labels, and this will also include like, Criterion Collection, Arrow Videos, 88 Films, all of those great distributors. There are films that they put out that I'm not going to be able to rent and that I still really want to see. An example of this is a film, and I don't think I'm going to be recommending this film in a video soon, so I feel okay telling you about it. It's a, what's his name? Takashi Kintano film called Violent Cop. Film Movement put out a Blu-ray for it. I found it used. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to rent it anywhere else, so I just bought it and I watched it, and it's incredible. It has some great saxophone in it. It's about, if you can believe it, a violent cop, and I loved it. It's so fucking nihilistic. It's definitely a neo-noir film, and if you're in for that, in that mood for November, for Noir November, like, do it. Get in there. Watch that film. Maybe I'll do a Noir November video. That's interesting. But yeah, like in those cases, I'm okay buying a film. But if I were to take a chance on that movie and buy it and watch it, and I know I'm never going to watch it again, it's going back. Like, I'm not going to return it like an asshole. I'm going to like trade it in and use that trade-in money to get another film that could potentially stay in the collection. But I'm being far more pragmatic about actually making sure that I'm watching what I buy and then getting rid of the things that I don't want to watch again. So that's all part of the balancing act. Let's see. Hold on. Oh my God. You guys have been chatting a lot. I would watch that video. Oh yeah. We need a Blu-ray and DVD collection video. I mean, that'd be a short video, but I'm open to doing it. Maybe when I hit like a certain amount of films, like 50 or something like that, although I might be at 50 already. And this is the weird thing, because my collection does shift quite a bit because I do trade stuff in. I am quite vicious. I kill my darlings now. But yeah, that could be something. Rank film pro directors first, then recommend the underrated ones in those vids. Interesting. Top 100 he made public on Letterboxd. Yes, I did. Reject movies unseen and you go viral. Like they're saying Megalopolis is going to flop. Why? It's a master's magnum opus. Why rejecting it unseen? Well, for one, it's not unseen. It had a couple of screenings at TIFF, and it had at least one screening at Cannes. And if you go read the professional reviews of that film, it's not good. And the audience reaction out of those screenings was largely bad. And those are two festivals where people are hyped up and primed to love a movie if it's good. So I think people being down on that film is completely fair. Also, we have to remember, and I'm surprised that I keep having to say this about Francis Ford Coppola. What was his last good movie? What was the last Francis Ford Coppola movie that you remember was actually good? For me, that movie, and I can't remember specifically which one it was. It might be that one with all the kids in it. But that movie was made decades ago. Decades ago. Francis Ford Coppola has been on a massive downturn in my mind. But up until now with Megalopolis, none of his like recent films have been big films. Most of them have had budgets of like less than $5 million. None of them have been a risk, right? Megalopolis is a big risk. This is $120 million of money that he borrowed or just financing that he himself was able to get to make a film that's untethered from studio interference. And like, I praise the man for having the balls to do that and to putting everything he possibly has into a film. But like, that doesn't mean that you deserve or have earned universal praise, right? We still need to be critical of the film. So yeah, I'm not excited to see it, and I don't even know if I will see it. I'm just honestly not that interested, because I haven't been interested in Francis Ford Coppola films for a long, long time. TJ, thoughts on this year's TIFF People's Choice Award winner? Which one would have been your pick? Okay, The Life of Chuck, the new Mike Flanagan movie winning People's Choice Award, I think is kind of an obvious pick for the TIFF audience, but I really don't think they got it right. Honora was better. The Substance was better. The Girl in the Needle was better, although I understand why that one wasn't a People's Choice Award winner. But yeah, I think The Life of Chuck is fine. I think in the grand scope of Mike Flanagan's career, including his like TV work, it's going to be a fairly meh-ish film. It is probably his most sentimental film, which I know is saying a lot considering some of the issues that people get into in some of his Netflix series. But I liked Life of Chuck, but it is not it to me it should not have won the People's Choice Award. I think it was a not good pick. Well, gotta go. Nice stream. Viva la Miyazaki. Have a good night, B Scope. Hope to see you in the comments. I've been watching and rewatching a lot of Francis Ford Coppola's films in prep for Megalopolis. All right. Sing Sing is also top 5. I haven't seen Sing Sing yet. That's one I do want to see. Encourage people to go to the theaters and tell them watching movies together is an experience like no other. That is true. But also, when you get there, turn your cell phones off and shut the fuck up. 4 of the true beat films ever made in the top 90s and 80s on the list. Close Up, The Mirror, Yee Yee, and Harry Carey, so not bad. Yes. Yeah, it's a good list. Damn, I don't even have a 4.5 star 2024 film yet. You'll get there eventually. The film, Just Don't Think I'll Scream, or From My Country Argentina Amateur, have very good depictions of that addiction. Oh, really? Interesting. Ooh. Scrolled too much. I already know that I'm going to love Lenora. Yeah, you will. I think everyone will when they see it. It's like it's Sean Baker kind of making it's kind of, if this movie came out in the 80s, it would be the highest grossing movie of the year. You know what I mean? Like, it's that film, it's that type of film that if it had come out in a different era, it would be the most popular film of the year. People would be going back to see it all the time. They'd be buying tickets to see it as much as they could. It would be a fucking smash success on VHS. Like, it's that kind of movie. It's just so solid and so much fun and so well acted that it would be undeniable. And I really do think it's going to go on an awards run as well. I love Quintano's films. Hell yeah. Am I too nice? Out of 106 films I've seen, 18 of them are 4.5 and above. I wouldn't say that's too nice. I have less 4.5 films than that. I will say that. But also I've seen less 2024 films than you. I've only seen a handful because I haven't been going to the theater that much. I just watched Sun Intended by Quintano before entering the stream. Hell yeah. Go to the movies, love movies, support movies, encourage more objective viewing. I mean, objective viewing is impossible, so don't worry about that too much. But I also agree that people shouldn't dismiss movies based on taste. You can always have a good discussion about a movie that you hate. Expand your genres and read film theories. Well, film theory, yes. I think we can all do with less like, it's just a theory, a film theory. Oh, Violent Cop is on Tubi? Nice. I mean, watch it there if you like ads. Or be like me and spend $30 on a Blu-ray. Sophia, greater than Francis? In the now time, sure. All time, no. The art of objective film review is lost. That should be brought back. I mean, I don't think it ever really existed, personally speaking. I'm watching Megalopolis this Saturday. All right, well, let us know what you think about it in the Discord if you're not there already. Rainmaker was really good. Rainmaker, yeah, that probably was the last good Coppola film. Yeah, I think you're probably right, which was like, what, the 90s, the late 90s? Megalopolis is going to be like his Tucker with Jeff Bridges, the story of a misunderstood genius. It's pseudo-autobiography, a swan song. I mean, I guess Megalopolis is about a guy who like builds cities, right? So you can see how there could be a very easy connection to a director talking about themselves. I can't believe it. The legend is back. Hello, Robbie. Hello. Saw The Substance twice last weekend. Loved it. My grandma saw it without telling me her the ending. She's still pissed. Wait, what? My grandma saw it without telling me her the ending? So wait, did you take your grandma to see it, or did she see it before you? Sean Baker is putting in the work for real. A modern goat. Yeah. One of the best American filmmakers currently going, without a doubt. So glad for Sean Baker. Red Rocket deserve a place on our top 100 list. Man, Red Rocket is great. I wish it could be one of those movies that I could like point at to people and say, hey, no one's seen this. You should watch it. But like 168,000 people have logged it on Letterboxd. So people have seen it. People have seen it, but I guess not enough. I guess not enough to get it into the Cinemateq Top 100. It is an elite list, to be sure. She saw it after. I did not warn her of the ending. Ah, you didn't let her know that it was a Guar concert right at the end. Well, you know, nobody's perfect. Starlet is an underrated Sean Baker film he rarely misses. Yeah, I do need to invest more time into Sean Baker. Like, I have only seen Red Rocket and Anora. And there's obviously more films than that. I know that I need to see The Florida Project and Tangerine. I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. There's a lot of films out there, guys. Starlet is Red Rocket was just not as good as his first two movies, but I know Anora is going to be a banger. That's high praise because I really liked Red Rocket. So I got to get into that. Are his other films like not features? Starlet is a feature. Takeout is a feature, but he co-directed that movie with a Korean director, a Taiwanese director. Interesting. Very interesting. What about Prince of Broadway? That's a feature. That's probably one of his first films. And Four Letter Words, also from Sean Baker from 2000. Damn. Yeah, so everything that's listed, I guess I have the shorts filtered out. Everything on Letterboxd, these 7 films, they're all features. Florida Project is a god level movie. Good to know. I had to fight for a copy of Takeout in Argentina, the collab from Baker. You had to fight for it? How many bruises did you get? Lucas, subjective viewing will bring us to where we are now. Age of superheroes and sequels, original and indie, will be lost in subjectivity. See, I think I know what Lucas means by subjective viewing, and I don't think it's what you think it is. Yeah, see, I think, and this was talked about at TIFF screening that I was at. The film was... It's one of the films that Mubi brought. Hold on. What was it? I need to be accurate about this. The Grand Tour, I think? Yes, just Grand Tour, directed by Miguel Gomez from Portugal. One of the things that he talked about in his Q&A is that films no longer, especially when you look at like big blockbuster Hollywood films, the Marvel films, the superhero films, they don't require thought from the viewer. The film tells you everything that you're supposed to be thinking in every moment of the film, whether it be through the music, the dialogue, the reactions the characters have to certain lines. Everything that you are supposed to feel is telegraphed very obviously by the film. And what this director was talking about, the director of Grand Tour was talking about, is that he wished that there were films that required more of a subjective viewing experience, which to him meant people actually bringing some of themselves to the film, not going to the film and being told exactly what they should do and what they should think, but instead watching a movie where the movie allows interpretation by the viewer. You don't get that with a big blockbuster film. You just don't. Those movies that are ambiguous, that leave things open for interpretation, those are not the movies that make $1 billion at the box office. You know, James Cameron is not going to leave it up in the air as to whether or not you think the people coming to Pandora to like basically destroy all of its natural resources. He's not going to leave it up to you to decide whether or not that's bad. You're shown that it's bad, right? Whereas there are films out there that will leave that interpretation up to you. It will have difficult characters. It won't have heroes and villains. It will have nuanced, weird, different characters who maybe you've seen in real life and can empathize with, but you have trouble getting on their side, and that's okay. Because it's okay for you to not feel one very one thing on one side, whether they're a hero, and one thing on the other, whether they're a villain, right? There can be more than that. And so when I hear people talking about subjective viewing experiences, this is what I think of, right? It's also something that you can go back to with like cinematography is another great way of thinking about this, where in modern Hollywood films, you are shown exactly what you're supposed to be looking at. You know, there's no real ambiguity here. They use wide shots if they're showing wide shots of destruction. They use close-ups if there's a particular item that they want you to see, or a facial reaction that they want you to see. There's a very deliberate purpose to the framing of everything, which is fine. Like, that is a very normal filming technique. But there are also filmmakers who will show you a frame and then leave that frame up. And then it allows your gaze to wander. I did see a couple of films like this at TIFF. One of them, which I'm going to shout out because there's no chance any of you are ever going to be able to see it, is The Ballad of Suzanne Cesare. I'll just bring this up on this view so you guys can check it out. This is a beautiful film. I think it was shot on 16 millimeter. It looks great. It's a bit confusing. I'm not going to say that it's like the most coherent film, but I think it's a film where you would definitely need to bring that subjectivity to it in order to get something out of it. And there are many shots in this film that hold on what you're looking at. And it allows you to inspect the 5 faces of the people that you're seeing on frame. It allows you to look at, you know, this sort of pastoral scene. So your eyes can wander from the trees to the grass to the sky to the sun if you so choose. There's nothing in these shots that you're particularly being directed to. You're just meant to observe, to look at the things that you want to look at. And that's another way that you can have this subjective viewing experience, when the film allows you to just look at what you want instead of directing your attention with every single frame with intention. That is another great thing that can happen. Once again, though, I love a lot of movies that are made in that traditional Hollywood way, where they are directing your attention. I love a whole bunch of them. But there is this other way of approaching film. And there is another way of approaching how you watch film. And I think that a healthy cinephile diet includes both of those things, because it helps you appreciate one or it helps you appreciate one over the other. So yeah, think about that. Keep that in your hat. Keep that in mind. Well said, TJ. Very true. Our subject taste is impacted by our biases. Yeah, that's true. Movies should be reviewed based on their own merit, not personal taste. I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, you're always going to bring part of yourself into a movie, right? And even for films that direct the way that you view the film, like, you're going to be drawing on your personal experiences to relate to a film. And, you know, your subjective experience is going to differ one person from the other. There are no blocks of audiences who always feel the same way about every film, right? So they're probably, and this is one of the reasons why I say that, like, there is no such thing as an objective review, because everyone is bringing part of their own unique experience into the film, into watching it. I do agree that on a certain level, filmmaking is a craft. And just like there are good chairs and bad chairs, there is good lighting and bad lighting. There is good prop making and bad prop making. There's good acting and bad acting. But we can't deny that there is going to be a little bit of subjectivity, because, and we have to admit this to ourselves as well, like, what the fuck do I know about lighting? I've watched a lot of movies. How many lighting classes have I taken? How many acting classes have I taken? Do I know how to make a still suit for Dune? No. I'm not a cosplayer. I don't know how they make that shit. So am I really an authority of any kind to say objectively whether or not something is good? Or does this kind of objectivity that people ask us to reach for, does that really just come from past generations of critics telling us what the best movies are? We watch them, and then we apply those standards to the movies that we see nowadays. I think that's likely more the case. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, these critics from the olden times, when apparently we were more objective, why is it that they were always telling us that American films were good, that British films were good, and that Japanese films were good, and they didn't pay attention to really anything else? Were they being objective? Sorry, Also, let's include France in there. Were they really being objective? Or were they just telling us that the films made in their own backyard were the best, and now we all believe it? Is that why the Criterion Collection is mostly American, British, French, and Japanese films? Are they actually the best, or were just the critics going after those films, hyping those films up in the 50s and 60s? Were they being objective? Or were those the films in their backyard? It's why, like, we should never try to say, oh my God, we need to be objective about reviews. It's impossible. It's impossible. You can't. It's art, for God's sake. Yes, there's craft involved, but it's art. It's going to be a unique experience for everyone. So try to figure out in your own mind, like, what good cinematography looks like, what good prop making looks like, what good acting looks like, and see where it leads you. But, like, don't try to remove yourself from the experience of watching the film for the sake of objectivity, because that's just going to hurt your experience. Like, there was a film recently that I gave a 4.5 to, which may end up in a video that I'm going to talk about soon, called Tiger Cage. It's a Hong Kong action film. And, like, if we're going to talk about, like, the objectivity of reviewing a film, like, it doesn't go to those sort of emotional depths that you may want a film, a greatest of all time film to go to. It doesn't go to that place at all. But what it is a masterclass in the technical execution of an action film. It is tight. It is 90 minutes. It doesn't let go of your balls or whatever genitalia you may have. It just hangs onto them for 90 straight minutes, and it's punching you in the face the whole goddamn time. When I turned that movie off after watching it, I was high. That movie got me high. And I'm not going to remove that experience that the film gave me from my assessment of it, because there's a reason why the film got me high. It was technically precise, but it also executed on that precision in a way that just fired a bunch of neurons in my brain. And that's awesome. And I want other people to have that experience. So I'm not just going to shrug my shoulders and say, it's a 3-star film, it's no Citizen Kane, and then dissuade people from seeing it for that reason. Like, it's great. It's awesome. I want people to see it. And I think we need to be able to bring ourselves into our reviews while still also trying to keep an eye on things like, is this good lighting? Is this good acting? Even though most of us are likely not good judges of that, just based on our own expertise. Why is this letting me scroll up? I love that Santango coded pastoral slow cinema. Yay, slow cinema. Although it didn't. When did Santango come out? Because I feel like slow cinema is a very Thai new wave thing, or Taiwanese new wave thing. It existed before, certainly, but I feel like the coding of it came from Taiwanese new wave. But I may be wrong. I forget when Santango came out. Just give me the slow cows now. Hitchcock is the master of creating those frames. Yes, Hitchcock is great at directing the attention of the viewer. One of the all-time best at it, absolutely. The beauty of Dune, that it has the old school storytelling and style like the old epics. Yes, Dune Part 2 especially. Like, it's very good at being good for like a solid amount of time, and then it just ratchets things up ever so slightly, and then bang. Hits you with the Paul speech, and that's where everything just starts going warm and fuzzy in my body, and I can't ignore it. I think that just being objectively good has a limit. You really need the extra connection with the film for it to mean something to you. Yeah, I agree. Siskel and Ebert paid attention to other countries. That's true. But they're in the late 80s and 90s, right? When I talk about like the quote unquote, objectively good critics, I'm mostly talking about like Cahiers de Cinema in the 50s and 60s from France, and some of the film journals that would have been around in America in the 40s and 50s and 60s. Like, that's where you get this idea of like, auteur theory and like objective this and blah, blah, blah. So yeah. But TJ, you are talking from the place of a cinephile. Look at the YouTubers who allow themselves to talk about movies, who devalue them based on poor taste and ignorance. They are destroying cinema. I mean, they're talking about it, aren't they? And I think if you were to take that kind of position on those kind of YouTubers, then you would also have to look at films like Marvel, the Marvel movies. Like, do you think that Marvel is destroying cinema? It's not a yes or no question. It's an interesting question. In some ways, you could say that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is keeping movies alive, because without them, where would movie theaters be? Probably be a lot more bankruptcies, if we're being honest. So, I think that overall, what I would like to see improved, especially from like larger film creators, is just, talk about films that are not just whatever's coming out in the weekend, and try to have conversations with your community about films that they haven't seen. Try to steer the direction towards those older films or those newer films that people aren't going to be happening. Like, I know this is kind of like jerking myself off at this point, but like, what other film person on YouTube would have told you about the Ballad of Suzanne Cesare? Name one. It's probably me and no one else. And I think that's one of the reasons why you guys are here. And so I do wish that there were more people like that. But then maybe that's good for me, because it just means I can take over YouTube. Besides being the objective taste friend is the worst, I'm sorry. Was it objectivity or racism? That's a great question. I noticed that someone in the chat earlier mentioned that there was no African films in the top 100. And that's true. And that's something that we can't ignore. It's also not something that I can do anything about, but it's a conversation to be had. Also, there were people saying like, hey, where's the films directed by women? And then Portrait of a Lady on Fire came up. But it's true. There are not a lot of films in the top 100 directed by women. There's two off the top of my mind that I can think of for sure. The Matrix and Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Are there any others? I can't remember. Please tell me in the chat. Honestly, there are some objective factors that make films like, say, Taste of Cherry better than Fight Club, despite whatever people's taste may be. So I can see what chat is saying. Yeah, I'll say it again. Film is a craft. It is populated and made by craftspeople. And I'll use the example again. There are good chairs and there are bad chairs. Or rather, there are chairs from IKEA, and then there are chairs that cost $1,000. And you hope that the chair that costs $1,000 is real good at making your butt feel comfortable. And the more you learn about film, the more you watch film, the more I think you're able to tell what is good and what is bad, or what is lower effort and what actually takes time to master. I think that becomes maybe a little bit more evident the more films you see. And once again, I think that's a great reason to actually get people to watch some older films, some of the try to steer people towards like best films of all time, things like this. Like here, I'll give you another freebie. I'm not going to put this in a video, although I may put it in a video later down the line. It's a film that was in one of the Criterion Collection World Cinema Project collections. I think it might be in 4. It's an Iranian film. I'm actually going to have to look up the name. Criterion World Cinema Project Iran. It's in number 3. No, it's not Downpour. That movie is from Iran, though. What do you know? Nope, it's not that. Number 4. Oh, yeah, Chest of the Wind. Let me just bring that up. Chest of the Wind. This movie. It's been seen by under 10,000 people, and it's not currently on a streaming service, which is a tragedy. But, like, this movie has one of the best film scores I've ever heard. Easily. One of the best. Top 10. I was in Philadelphia not that long ago visiting a friend. I was in a bookstore that had the vinyl record of this score. I don't have a vinyl record player anymore. I can tell you right now that if I did, I would have bought it on the spot. But I picked it up and I turned to my friend and I said, "Do you have a record player?" And he was like, "No, I don't have a record player." I would have bought this film for him on the spot. Not this film, this score on the spot, just to give it to him so we could listen to it once and then turn it into a fucking coaster for all I care. The score is so good that I want people to hear it as best as I can. And so, like, this one, please try to find this movie. Shit, should I put this? I should actually put this in the video. The video I'm thinking of. Because it's got less than 15,000 views. I'm probably going to end up making a few of those, so it's fine. But like, yeah, this is great. And I think when you hear a score like this, it puts into perspective other scores that you hear. You understand that there is something different and perhaps better out there in the world, and that we don't always have to just have orchestras just doing shit. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm so against our orchestral scores these days, or at least I find them to be unremarkable. One other point on this. This film just got picked, The Girl with the Needle, as I believe Denmark's pick for the Best International Oscar this year. This is the best score of the year. When we do the Cinemateq Film Awards, this #1 right here for score. It's incredible. It sounds like what Trent Reznor would have done if he was doing film scores just before The Downward Spiral came out, right? Great. Incredible. Love this score a lot. This movie's very hard to watch, but I recommend that you do. Probably also going to be a best cinematography pick for me as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Oscars get it in there as like the #5 cinematography pick. I wouldn't be shocked. But it needs a good awards push. And I don't want to start talking about the Oscars too much right now. Let's try to have conversations separate from awards season. But yeah, that's another one that you should keep your eye out for. And in fact, Mubi, who were a sponsor of me way back in the day and who I still love dearly, they have the rights for this. So if you are a Mubi subscriber, you will be able to watch it in the not too distant future. Not sponsored. We can't deny Birth of a Nation. An objective critic compares Griffith with Oscar Michaud. I mean, we can deny Birth of a Nation if we want. Like, I do deny it. It's a racist movie, and I think if we start thinking about films as being like empathy machines, works of art that allow us to live, in the lives of others and to gain greater appreciation for other people, then we should leave no room for blatantly racist films, regardless of their technical prowess. Like, fuck it. Throw it into the ocean. I don't give a shit. Gotta go. Great stream. See you next time. Thank you so much, Dan. Happy to have you here. Saying that the Taiwanese cinema when the GOAT made Jean de Mon 20 years prior. Oh, yeah. Sorry. You're right. I forgot that Chantal Akerman exists and was doing slow cinema way before Taiwanese New Wave. I've just been in that mindset of Taiwanese New Wave recently, along with like Hong Kong stuff. Movie-wise, we recommend weird old stuff. Yes. Also, Dan, thank you for saying Daisies. That's a film that was directed by a woman that is also in the top 100. We can't dismiss Chinatown. That's subjectivity. The scale for criticizing movies is not morals. I mean, there certainly can be a moral basis to criticizing a film. I think it's okay to not like art if it's made by a pedophile. That's a completely reasonable take for a person to have. We don't need to celebrate pedophiles. We can watch their movies. We can enjoy them. But if someone wants to have the opinion that they don't like Chinatown because a pedophile made it, that's fine. That's a reasonable take. I'm fine with that. All Talking Pictures will do a historical deep dive in old Oscar years and gives forgotten older films forgotten. I assume you mean like a chance. Like, that's good. That's good. Yeah, for sure. The more I fall in love with film and filmmaking, the less I care for objectively good movies. Yeah, and that's fine. I think that's fine as well. Really, just watch movies the way that you want to watch them. Have fun. Experience things. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. It's way easier to watch a movie and way cheaper to watch a movie than it is to travel places and to go back in time. So just watch movies instead. Films are collaborative works of art and should be criticized as such. We can't easily rate them based on the plot only, for instance. I agree. But plot is part of it. Screenwriting is part of it. It's the way of things. Very productive chat. That is true. Yeah, this is a good one. Thank you, everyone. You've been great in the chat. Movies, sponsored by TJ again. Maybe if I start putting out like movies on or videos on YouTube that get 100,000 views consistently, yeah, they'd probably come back. and I would welcome them with open arms. I would snuggle with them. I would caress them gently. Let them know that I care for them and kiss them lightly on the forehead. Just watch as many movies as you can. Yeah, do that too. But don't go overboard. Leave yourself a little bit of room for reflection, you know? Don't I don't know. I honestly don't get the people who watch like 4 movies a day. As much as I love movies and I consider myself a cinephile, I don't get people who can watch 4 movies a day consistently. I do that at TIFF once and I want to sleep for days. But, you know, a lot of different people are built differently. So maybe that's just that. All right, everyone. I think that's it for me. This was a big old live stream. We went for almost 3 hours. That's much longer than I intended on being live. But that just speaks to you and the good questions you were asking and the excellent reactions you are having. Oh no, there's more things in the chat to talk about. What did you think about Orson Welles' comment on watching too many movies? I don't know what he said about that. Paraphrase for me as quickly as you can. 2 films a day every once in a while, but 4 is wild. Yeah. Can't beat a good double bill, but like 4 in a day, that's tough. That's tough. Especially if you're doing it consistently. Watching 14 in a day is especially hard. And I did do that not that long ago. Maybe I'll make a video about it. Who knows? All right. I'm going to call this one. Whatever Orson Welles said about watching too many movies is correct. He was always correct. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, for joining me. Spread the word about the Cinemateq Top 100. Let's see what kind of comments we can get on it on Letterboxd. And probably won't do a live stream for a very long time, but keep an eye out for new content. Join the Discord. That's where you're going to get alerted, to new content coming out. And have a good time. Watch movies. Have fun. Go watch The Substance. Keep an eye out for some other movies at TIFF that I mentioned that may be coming to a screen near you soon. I think Grand Tour is going to be coming out. That's an interesting film. Could probably spark a conversation or two. And have fun. Keep an eye out for good shit. And tell me in Discord when you find good shit. I like to know these things. So, let's go. Let's do it. We love an imposter syndrome king. Do I have imposter syndrome? I don't think so. I think I'm just lazy. Good night, everyone. Have yourselves a good goddamn rest of the week. Watch movies, etc. Adios.
Get off my plane.
He's looking at you, kid.
I have been, and always shall be, your friend.
The Force will be with you, always.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hasta la vista, baby.